By the way, I have a hammock take. They suck. Most overrated thing in the world.
That's insane.
No, yeah.
He's
thinking about getting out of hammocks. Getting out of hammocks sucks.
It's a big guy thing. I understand.
No, I hate them too.
Yeah. Max, I knew you'd back me up.
Me and Hank are just
They're just
kicking
scary as
down.
fuck.
A summer nap on a
Uncomfortable.
hammock.
No, you're not taking naps in a hammock.
Oh, I've taken a nap in a hammock.
I've taken so many naps.
You ever
in so
sipped
many
an iced tea in a hammock?
Especially if you have your shirt off, then like the
yeah. On today's Pardon My Take, it's just the boys. We're breaking down all of March Madness, everything we saw the past 4 days. It's been chaos. Not the greatest tournament, but there's still some notable moments, some fun moments. We're going to talk about all of it. We're going to do Who's Back of the Week. It's kind of like a football Monday. It's just us, boys. We are also going to, recap everything we missed. Maybe Tiger Woods dating a Trump.
Yeah, but no, I don't think we should cover that. Because
all right, you're right.
Please respect his privacy.
We won't talk about that. We are brought to you by our friends at DraftKings. When it comes to college basketball and March Mania, one thing is for sure, nothing's for sure. Upsets, buzzer beaters, Cinderella's advancing, top seeds going home early. It's all going to happen. Bet the unexpected every upset, every day with DraftKings Sportsbook. With live betting, exclusive content, promos, and parlays, DraftKings is the ultimate college basketball destination for March. Ready to make your first bet? Check out the matchups and pick a team to win. It's that simple. First time? Here's something special just for you. New DraftKings customers. Bet $5, get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Bet the unexpected with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code TAKE. That's code TAKE for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Okay, let's go. Welcome to Pardon My Take, presented by DraftKings. Bet the unexpected with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code TAKE. That's code TAKE for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Today is Monday, March 24th. And boys, we've just watched a lot of basketball.
That we mainlined that. That was 4 days. Tough 4 days of watching hoops, sitting on a couch. I think my steps per day topped out at about 500 or 600.
Yeah.
Which is the way that God intended.
Yes.
It was a great weekend of sports. It ended up being pretty chalky, but that's okay.
Yes.
We got some great matchups coming up.
Yeah, so we're going to go through each region and break it down. I do want to say before we get into it, when you're listening to this right now on Monday morning, this is one of the toughest Mondays of the entire calendar year. I stand with you. You get 4 days where you just watch nothing but hoops. The moments in between the games, the moments you wake up on Saturday and Sunday, you're just waiting for the hoops to start again. And then Monday comes, and they rip it all away from you. And I just sit there on this Monday, and I kind of stare blankly outside. I'm basically Pablo Escobar staring outside of a window, being like, well, where's the basketball?
No basketball.
Why isn't there basketball? We were saying it in the cave. The NIT should just play all day Monday and wean us off.
Yeah, when's the crown play, Max?
We need something
Mac,
to wean us
I know you're
off.
dialed. The crown should be playing.
It's the week of the Final Four.
Or it should, you know what it should be? It should be opening day. MLB would be smart to be like, hey, here's opening day. I know you guys have just went through 4 days where you thought maybe it's the same feeling of being on a bachelor party with your best friends and having that moment where you're like, man, maybe we should just do this. Maybe we should get a house together in San Diego and just live just the boys, all 15 of us, and just say fuck off to our families. And then you have that moment where you're like, fuck, I got to go back to real life. That's today.
I think it probably does save some relationships, though, because you just spent the last 4 days watching sports all day on TV. If you did it again on Monday, then you might have to have a hard conversation.
Yeah, I know it's a personal problem, but I always struggle with this Monday. And this isn't just because, when we started that our job is sports. This was before Barstool, before PMT. Like, this Monday always sucked for me because I was just like, that was it. Another year. And then you look at the Thursday matchups for Sweet 16, and you look at the schedule and say, where are all the games?
Yeah, so
it feels like there should be more games.
If you got home on Monday from work, and then maybe your significant other was like, okay, we got you made me wait to watch Severance, so we got that recorded, White Lotus recorded. Mm-hmm. Let's sit down, have a family night, and you're like, UAB is playing UNT.
And I want to watch it.
And I kind of want to put some money on it.
That was a pretty good game.
Yeah.
And the people that work like a corporate job have to go in and listen to, their coworkers who don't even really watch sports talk about their bracket.
The brackets,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Oh, like,
it's a brutal day.
I think this day is probably the number one water cooler day.
Yeah. And
right?
and this year it's going to be a lot of, man, what happened to March Madness? What happened to the upsets? What happened to Cinderella? I'm just saying, I'm here with you guys. I know that our job is a little different than people listening to this show, but you are seen. I'm shining a light on how much today sucks for you because you're sitting in your car right now. You're on your commute. You're like, man, it's just like the dopamine of wall-to-wall hoops. When they take it away from you, I'm an addict. I need the hoops.
But if you are a fan of one of the teams that's still in it, this is a great Monday.
Yeah.
Because that now you get to just relive the entire. You got 2 games that you get to think back on, read all the stats from,
make plans for Thursday or Friday of where you're going to go drink and hang out. Yeah, no, are we going to go to the game? All right, so before we do the regions, is March Madness gone? Have we lost March Madness?
There was no madness this year. It was too sane.
So the biggest culprit that I've seen being blamed is NIL and transfer portal. I think that's actually a fair critique because what has happened with a lot of these games is that, or a lot of these teams, a lot of the smaller conferences will take a shot on a guy who maybe wasn't a high level guy out of high school, maybe was at JUCO, maybe didn't grow all the way. They take a shot on him. He's good for a year, and then he gets plucked in the transfer portal and NIL, and all the Power 5 schools are basically picking apart all the smaller schools and taking their best players, and then you don't get upsets. I actually think it's a fair critique. I think you need a little bit more of a sample size than 2 years, but we did lack, especially the first 2 days, the madness. We had no... What would be the moment we even looked to for the first 2 days? McNeese?
McNeese in the first round. That was
Robert Morse for a half.
That was pretty mad. Also, was it Norfolk?
Norfolk
was they were plucky, they were frisky.
Norfolk for the middle 20 minutes of the game, and because they lost by like 30.
The story, the underdog story, the feel good Hoosiers story coming out of this weekend was those plucky underdogs at Arkansas.
Yeah.
Coach Cal.
Yeah.
He is the one Cinderella.
Yeah.
That's still left. And he's at Arkansas. They were 10 seeds, so it still counts. But yeah, we don't get the mid-majors, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, because
it's good but also for college basketball, it's good to have 1, maybe 2 of those.
Yes.
And the matchups are all really good. If you look at what we're looking at for Thursday and Friday, it's going to be some good games.
I'm a big believer in you don't want the St. Peter's going all the way to the Elite Eight and having a blowout game in the Elite Eight. I want the basketball to get better and better as the tournament goes along. But we absolutely missed out on having 1 or 2 crazy upsets. I think it was the first time in 15 years I read that all the 1, 2, 3s, and 4s won their first round game. Mm-hmm. So that tells you everything right there. Like, we didn't have that one moment, a buzzer beater or a 15-point dog winning it all. It was also, I also was laughing because the gambling influencers online has become a popular business, and I saw a few dudes doing TikToks being like, "Here's the plan for March Madness: we take every single money line dog straight in the first 2 days."
Yeesh.
Were you one of those influencers?
No,
Hank?
I was not.
And it's like this was not the year to do that. This was not the year to do.
There was no madness.
Yeah, we lacked madness.
Very little madness.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, I mean, I'm holding out hope that we'll get the madness in future years, but it would be crazy for us to do this show on Monday and be like, "Wow, that was incredible. That was the best thing we ever see." It wasn't. We lacked madness this year.
But also,
I still had fun.
But also, if there's anything that you don't like about college sports, the very first thing that you can always point at is you're like NIL,
transfer portal.
NIL did.
Yeah, NIL did do it.
But it is kind of weird that the transfer portal is now open.
Yeah.
It opened up on Sunday night.
Yeah. Well, it's like college football. They do the same thing when the playoffs are still going on. The transfer portal's happening. I was saying in the cave as well that, like, if you're say like 50 billion, you have 50 billion. You don't own a sports team. just start doing cool guy moves that everyone will be like, man, that guy rocks. If I were Mark Cuban, I don't have the Mavs anymore, I would just be like, hey, you know what? I need the madness. All the small schools in college basketball and Division I college basketball, I'm going to give you $3 million each. Any non-Power 5 school per year.
So then you get some of the second guys from the Power 5, from the big program.
They'd be able to keep some of their guys.
Yeah.
They'd be able to keep their guys, their homegrown guys.
Because they're still going to be able to get outspent by the big program.
Of course, but
And now the SEC learned that once you throw money at all the sports that you used to just throw money, like football was the one place where they would dominate for a while. And now the SEC is like, oh, we can pay basketball players too? Let's go.
But I would like some rich guy to be just like, win cool guy of the year. We'll give you the award. Win cool guy of the year and just say, hey, Akron, you have a guy you took a shot on who was incredible this year and now he's going to get $250,000 from a Power 5 program. Well, here's $250,000. Keep him there. Have fun.
For the billionaires that don't have a school that they like already.
Right. Or just for billionaires who love the madness.
I would say that billionaires that love madness probably have already found a school that they're giving money to. But
and also they don't give a fuck about the madness. They truly wouldn't care. Like, oh man, I can't believe. Oh, boo-hoo, I have $50 billion and there wasn't enough madness. That's probably not going through their heads.
Probably not.
I'm just looking out for the regular guys.
They're the billionaires like that. They're like, oh, the sports is on TV.
Yeah,
you guys are watching sports ball.
I was thinking about this take more. What happens when they run out of the money?
What do you mean?
So does that billionaire just have to give $1 billion every year?
Maybe not $1 billion, but like 500 million. If you had $100 billion, that's a lot of billions.
How many?
I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not very good with my own money, but this is what I would do.
I think what Big Cat's asking for is very politely.
All those 100 billionaires.
If the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia wants to get involved in mid-major college basketball, now is the time to do it.
But you have to continue to do it.
Here's what okay, fine. You know what? Just one of these 100 billionaires, just give me the money and I'll handle it.
I think that'll go badly for you.
Why?
Because it doesn't sound like you're thinking this
How
through.
sick would it be, though, if I was just the king of the little guys?
When we were talking about it in the cave, at first you were like,
million.
you said 20 million to 200 schools. I was like, no one is that rich to just like do this every year.
If you gave 20 million, you wouldn't have to give it to 200.
That's what he said. He said, I'll give 20 million to 200
Here's
schools.
the deal with the mid-majors. There's mid-majors and then there's mid-majors.
Yeah.
You know, like some of the familiar names for the mid-majors that we like to see running.
Yeah, there's the one bid leagues that I would just be like, all right, pick the one team and I'll give you the money this year. Yeah, like you guys could rotate.
Like the Mountain West gets 4 or 5.
Yeah, they would get to pick 4 or 5, but like. Yeah, the Patriot League, you get one team.
Yeah.
I'm going to boost one team. Maybe I'd spin a wheel. That would be a cool selection Sunday where it's like every year, right before the transfer portal opens, everyone gets to tune in. It's like, all right, Lehigh, you're getting 20 million this year,
there'd be
buddy.
some administrative errors, like the MAC gets 5 teams, but it accidentally goes to the MAC.
Yeah.
The 2A MAC.
Oh, I would boost the fuck out of the MAC. That would be awesome. If I just gave $1 billion to the MAC.
Yeah.
All right, maybe not the smartest idea, but it was an idea I had. This is kind of, Max, my math on this was like the meme that goes around every now and then where they're like, what if Bill Gates could just give $1 million to every person in America and solve poverty, and someone does the money, the numbers are like, dude.
You get $120.
He doesn't have
you know what's
that.
a better use of this money is if you just pay off refs.
Yeah.
You'd only have to pay off like
That
15
too.
guys.
Yeah, that too. Or pay off the big boys to be like, hey, why not maybe get upset today?
Take a dive.
Yeah, here's $1 million. All right. Let's get to the regions. Let's get to the games. Let's start. We'll do the bracket in order. This bracket, by the way, that was printed out for us on Sunday night with none of the regions has set me back. I couldn't name any of the regions.
Well, there was a first bracket. You got the second bracket. There was a different one that was on your desk because I got the first one and it's good. Auburn. You want to start in that?
Yeah, we'll do it in order.
That's the South.
Yeah, it's in the South. It's in the top left. Auburn, Creighton. Auburn, I feel like there was the vibe that Auburn had bad vibes. They had lost, 3 out of 4, I think, going into the tournament. This was one of those games where everyone, I feel like, wanted Creighton to win, bet Creighton, and Auburn. It was a very close game, and then Auburn was like, wait, we're Auburn, we're better than you. And I think it was a tie game with 10 minutes left. and then you looked up and it was a 10-point game, and Janai Broom didn't even play well. Like he was missing every little bunny. The scariest part about Auburn as a team is Pettiford, the guy who comes off the bench, who's an NBA player. He was awesome, and they have that guy coming off the bench.
And they also have the crazy guy, Chad Baker-Mazara.
Yeah, who gets kicked out of a couple games.
Had a great game. I love watching play. He's got a little George Pickens in him.
Yeah.
He just goes nuts, and he is a force. When he's the DNA of guys that are just really great rebounders, they're fascinating to me. Just because they're always fighting, and he's one of those guys. He takes it over the line sometimes. But, he was somewhat dominant in that game.
I wish that, and Max would not like this. Max, by the way, RIP the Big East. No teams in the Sweet 16.
That's one of my takes.
That was one of your. I tasked Max. Max is doing what Hank did last week. He's on the IR right now. I
I'm
said,
good.
Bring
I don't
some
know-
takes, and you said you're going to bring some takes.
I don't have the strongest takes, but I got talking points.
Okay, so the Big East out. Creighton was not were they the last team in? Yeah. Did they play before? UConn was out on Sunday. I wish Kalkbrenner and Ashworth could just stay at Creighton forever. They're just such college basketball players. And it sucks that that's kind of the end for them, getting bounced in the second round. But what was your Big East take?
Just that, this tournament doesn't really matter anymore because there's no more Big East teams.
Okay,
left.
I like that.
Your take should be that the Big East tournament is actually the hardest tournament to win.
Yeah. That's the national champion, St.
Right.
John's.
SEC, there's too many SEC teams.
SEC
Big East is
big-
college basketball. SEC is football.
They're carpetbaggers.
Yeah.
They're just acting like they've cared about college basketball all along. But you know that in your heart of hearts, if you're Auburn, what would you trade for a football? How many basketball national championships would you trade for a football?
5.
You think 5?
No less than 5.
I do agree with this take in that the SEC has 2.5 basketball schools that I respect as
Kentucky?
basketball schools. Kentucky, Florida, and half of Tennessee. None of the other, Auburn's great. Auburn could win the national title. They might win the national title, the number 1 seed. But I don't respect them as a basketball school. That's football. That's not it's not an insult. That's football.
And the fans aren't the same.
It's football.
Because when you're watching SEC basketball fans, you're only thinking in the back of your head they don't care about this like they care about football.
Correct.
When you look at Big East basketball fans, it's everything.
Right. Right. It's all you got.
It's all you got.
I mean, Kentucky is definitely
Kentucky is an outlier.
And Florida because of the history.
Right.
Florida has the history of being really good at basketball. So I count them as well.
For sure.
And Tennessee as well. Half.
I'm fine with half.
You like that take?
Yeah,
2.5?
I like that.
I think
Big East, it's all of them.
Yeah.
I think Tennessee is up there, though, because they do care.
Yeah, but
in
football in Tennessee is obviously is a clear one.
They care in a way that they deeply care about because they've never won.
Right. But I respect them. I'm giving them a half because I respect their basketball tradition and they do care. It's more that football still is the king there. And Florida gets it just because they've won titles.
The fact that Alabama has won so many titles in college football, and that I think it would probably take Bama fans 6, 7 natties in football to trade for a basketball one.
Yeah. But yeah, Creighton out, Big East out, Auburn. I think they're fine. Obviously, it gets tougher going through, but this was the first game where I think everyone was like, I don't know how Auburn's gonna play here.
They looked shaky in the first round.
Right. Well, and they finished the season not looking great, and I think they're fine. And they have that, like I said, Janai Broom didn't play that well. I felt like he missed every short shot that he was taking, and he's the national player of the year. He's going to be fine.
And then Michigan next, right?
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting to see how they go up against the big guys on Michigan.
Yeah, so Michigan Texas A&M was one of our good games this weekend, even though the final score doesn't look that great. But this was a great game in the fact that it was punch, counter punch, where it was very tight in the first half. Then Texas A&M was up 60-50 with 13-17 left. And Michigan went on a 31-12 run in the next 10 minutes. Dusty May is just a hell of a coach. He said it on our show. He's like, we needed a reset. We need a reset. What have they done since then? They won the Big Ten tournament, and now they're in the Sweet 16. And, his use of Vlad got in foul trouble. He was subbing him in and out, offense, defense. Vlad was a beast. It was a tough day for any Ohio State fans because Roddy Gale, who transferred to Ohio State, was unconscious. Michigan's just like, I just think Dusty May is one of those guys that I'm putting him in like tournament coach.
Well, yeah, and Vlad's a tournament player.
Big time tournament player.
And they have, this is interesting. What's the guy's name from Michigan? Is it Donaldson?
Yeah.
I think it's Donaldson.
Trey.
was at Auburn.
Yeah.
And then transferred to Michigan. Now they're going to be matched up. And I actually like watching Wolf play too.
Oh, he's awesome.
Wolf is
He is a little addicted to spin moves.
He's addicted to spin moves, and
Yeah.
he like might appear kind of frumpy when you first look at him, but I think it's deceptive how fast he is.
No, and he's 7 feet and he passes so well. If Michigan is going to come down to, like every Michigan game, the turnovers. Can they limit the turnovers?
And Michigan just wants them to keep winning because the longer they win, the longer they have to kind of push off the reality that's hitting some of their other programs right now.
Oh, what are you talking about?
I don't know.
David Weiss?
There's just other things.
Other things going on.
But we don't have to worry about the other things while sports are still happening.
That's true.
That's how it goes. It's like Florida.
Yeah. Ole Miss, Iowa State, Chris Beard, another tournament coach. Like Ole Miss, I don't think anyone expected them to make noise in this tournament. They had a good season in the SEC. They weren't one of the dominant teams in the SEC. They killed UNC on Friday, and then they killed Iowa State on Sunday. Tournament coach.
So is this the first Sweet 16 that they've been to since, was it like 2000?
It's been a long
Something
time.
like 20 years? Because I thought that Marshall Henderson had got there,
No.
but he didn't. It's just that anytime he won a game,
He made you know.
You thought that they just won the Final Four game.
He let you know that he won the game.
He let you know that they won. But yeah, Chris Beard and the guys, they look very, very good today against Iowa State. I asked Mark Titus this. Big Cat, I'll ask you the same question.
Yes.
Is it time to prepare to have a conversation about Otzelberger?
In what way?
Just a conversation of like when can we expect more than Sweet 16s? Because I feel like he's a victim of his own success at this point.
He's only been there 4 years.
Yeah.
And he's gone to 2 Sweet 16s in 4 years. I would say not yet. Because Iowa State's not exactly the easiest place. They don't have like the most resources and the most fertile recruiting ground. I'd say he's a really good coach. 4 tournament appearances in 4 years, 2 Sweet 16s of those 4. I would say TJ Otzelberger is a pretty damn good coach. Maybe a little too tight on the polo. They're
getting tighter.
Work on that. But yeah, I think he's a very good coach.
I'm not, to be clear, I'm not having the conversation.
But you're asking.
But I'm saying, is it time for others to begin to prep for the conversation?
Right.
I think maybe it's okay to prep. It's never too early to prep.
Yeah, I think going like in the next couple of years, if he needs to make a deep run, but the tournament's so fucking hard, man.
He's such a good coach that now you're like, we expect more from you.
But I mean, one of his best players gets hurt right before that. He kind of kept that from the media, got himself a better seed. But yeah, no, I think he's a very good coach. And I mean, he was a very good coach. He took a small school. I can't remember. Where was he before that? I know he was at UNLV, but where was he before that? Because I know he took them to the tournament as well.
South Dakota State?
Yeah. So I think he's a very good coach.
UNLV.
No, but before I said UNLV.
Oh,
but yeah, South Dakota
It was a late
State.
night.
Yeah, it is a late night.
No, I'm saying
I'm
last
being
night.
helpful over here.
last night
Who
was a
fucking
late
brought
night.
this up?
Is tonight going to be later than last night?
Yes.
Oh, is it at least a coin flip?
You know what?
I don't.
I am bringing. I'm bringing as much as I would any other.
You are
day.
bringing a lot. You're bringing a lot.
If you're gonna hoot with the Owls,
I'm
you gotta
still
soar
talking
with
more
the
than.
Eagles.
It's true.
Hank hasn't said anything. And
TJ
he didn't do
Otzelberger on
anything
the hot
last
seat,
night.
Hank?
No, crazy take.
Yeah.
Terrible take.
That wasn't the take. The take was it's time to prepare to have a conversation,
Also bad take.
not a hot seat, just a conversation about him.
No.
No.
I'm
think
not
he's a good
again.
coach.
I'm not saying hot seat, but some coaches they start to get labeled as can't get past the Sweet 16 once they get good enough at coaching.
I think it's so hard in this tournament. You just the luck of the draw and everything. It's fucking hard. It's hard. He just needs to get a looser polo.
It is way too tight.
It's way
Yeah.
too
This
tight.
is insane.
Every
He
game,
looks like a
it's way
strength
too
coach.
tight.
Max, that's not even the one from today. The
Yeah,
one he
I
was
know.
wearing today, the gray and black one.
It's also crazy because like if you're getting the shit kicked out of you like they did by Ole Miss today, and Ole Miss was phenomenal. Again, Chris Beard, tournament coach. Like that's a guy if you're playing the second game, with less than 48 hours to plan, give me Chris Beard every time because he just feels like he's going to out game plan the other coach. But if you're getting the shit kicked out of you, like throw on a sweatshirt or something, dude. He's basically wearing a skin suit. It's crazy.
It got smaller.
It did. It got smaller as a kid. Maybe that's what he should do. Maybe he needs to get even smaller of a polo.
Just wear the small, switch to maybe just a singlet.
Maybe he's like into BDSM. He's got to punish himself until he gets past the Sweet 16.
If he showed up with a tight leather one that just zipped like all the way up with a hoodie that he could pull over his entire face,
yeah,
I would bet on him for that.
By the way, other win for Ole Miss. I feel like Chris Beard's staying, right? Because all the Iowa got Ben McCollum from Drake. We already knew that Darren DeVries went to Indiana, and then Sean Miller went to Texas.
Yeah.
So I don't know where Chris Beard would go, but I feel like they might have survived one of those, coaching carousels.
Nova?
Because remember, Rick Pitino came in here and he told us.
Yeah.
He's like, Chris Beard should be the coach of Indiana. Nova?
Max, do you want Chris Beard?
Not a Nova guy?
Not a Nova guy.
Where is it at? Where are we at with the Nova search?
I don't know. Maryland keeps winning, so it's not great there. Maybe this guy.
Who?
TJ
Altenberg?
I'll take him.
I have dibs on him years from now. He is from Wisconsin.
Villanova's a much better job.
I'm just saying, I have dibs on him.
We'll see.
Well, do you not respect dibs?
No, I gotta respect dibs.
Yes, thank you.
I gotta respect.
I rest
dibs.
my case. PFT has dibs on Cooper Flag.
Yeah.
You
And you respect that.
That one I don't respect.
No, you do respect it.
Well, we'll see.
Nasty.
If you get the first pick, I will respect it.
Thank you.
But if
Okay.
the Sixers get the first pick, I will not.
If the Sixers he should go back to college.
Yes.
By the way,
You know what? The Sixers do a great job, big men with ankle injuries.
he's not a big man,
How tall is he?
but he's not a big man.
He is a big man with ankle injuries.
He is a taller guy who had a sprained ankle.
Yeah. Paul George, he's a big man.
No,
You're not using big man.
You're doing a bad job.
I said he is
everyone in the NBA is
Paul
big.
George is a big man. Fact or fiction?
He is a tall. He's tall.
Yeah.
He's tall. All right, last one in this region: New Mexico, Michigan State. Great seeing Rick Pitino out there supporting Richard. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you saw the picture. I think most
Great
people
fans.
saw the picture. Great fans behind him.
Everybody
Great
was
fans.
behind him.
New Mexico.
Great fans.
Michigan State deserves a lot of credit because Michigan State got punched in the mouth at the beginning of this game, and they just keep pushing the pace, and they're just dogs. New Mexico probably could have gotten a better whistle. I'll say that.
Yeah, probably. But they didn't hang in there.
No.
It looked promising at the start. I mean, I think that's one coach, Richard Pitino. It's a matter of time before he's in the Big East, right?
Well, he's got to take over for St. John's. That's a succession plan.
He could.
Yeah.
I was thinking there's people having a discussion at Providence right now. Seats heating up.
Is he a big conference coach? Not so much in Minnesota.
Yeah, he was a name. He was a name that was floating around Villanova circles. but
Oh.
I think the Minnesota years have scared some people.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But that would be good. Get a little more Italian.
It just does feel like
I
his
don't hate
destiny to be in the Big East at some
agree.
point, right?
I agree. Yeah, New Mexico, they just kind of ran out of gas, and Michigan State was just better. Tom Izzo now 16th Sweet 16, and I saw this. Someone has a chart where they have like expected wins in the tournament. I would assume that's based on like being, favorites and seeding and all that stuff. Tom Izzo has been to the tournament 21 times. His expected wins are 27.6. He has 39 wins. It might be 40 now. And that's an 11.4 difference. The next closest on this chart is Cal with he has 6 wins above expected. So Tom Izzo, very good tournament coach.
Very good. Did you see what he did last year when he got bounced?
Yeah.
He wrote down, I'm getting back to a deeper run in this tournament or I'm going to die trying.
Yeah. He said that out loud.
Yeah,
in an interview.
he was literally going to kill himself trying to get back to this point, and he did it.
I believe him.
Yep.
I absolutely believe him.
Would love to see Michigan State in the Elite Eight.
It'd be scenes.
That would be scenes, Hank. That's a great point. Hank 1, Max 0. That
not a
was a
competition.
great point.
I I'm not gonna lie. I'm not paying attention.
Memes like that one.
Great
point, Hank.
I was actually prepping for
the next region.
No, I'm trying to count how many football schools and basketball schools are left. And there's honestly more basketball schools than I thought that.
Okay, wait. Give us. Do you have the number?
No, I'm in the process of doing
it.
Yep.
When you're ready, interrupt us and tell us. And I want to go down the list and list off every school because I would like to debate that. Great point, Hank. Michigan State would be scenes in the Elite Eight. Scenes.
Get to kiss the logo at center court. Yeah. Kiss the bracket.
I'd like Tom Izzo to get back to another Final Four. Because that does feel like, even if Michigan State doesn't win it all, it would be one of those we can really sit and enjoy Tom Izzo's career. Yeah. You get the stories written about him like, this is crazy. He's 30 years in coaching. He's back to another Final Four.
Tough to beat a team 3 times in the same season.
Yeah, I wonder if he would. I think if you're Tom Izzo, you'd have to just have it on loop of them disrespecting the S.
Yeah,
because they were about to kiss that ass.
Kiss the S.
Yeah, you got to kiss that ass. All right, let's take a break and then we'll go to the next region. This episode of Pardon My Takes brought to you by our friends at Game Time. The best part of college basketball is here, and we know you're as excited as we are to watch some big upsets throughout the tournament. While we're streaming in the cave, you can get out to see the action in person with Game Time, the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. Game Time makes getting tickets faster and easier. Prices on the app actually go down the closer it gets to showtime. Plus, the Game Time Picks feature makes it even easier to find the great deals on the seats you want. You can even find last-minute tickets for the tournament for up to 60% off quickly and easily. Just pull up your chosen event and turn on the GT Picks setting at the top of the screen or browse the best local Game Time Picks deals near you on your Game Time app homepage. Hank, we're looking at tickets for the regional Thursday,
Session 1, New Jersey. You can get into the building for $218.
$218. I think that is Alabama versus BYU. So they've got great curated deals for all tiers of tickets, and you know you're getting the top option when you see the super deal icon. What are you waiting for? Go buy those tickets right now. Watch some college hoops. It's going to be great. Sweet 16. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app. Create an account. Use code PMT for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account. Redeem code PMT for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it? Game time. We're also brought to you by our friends at American Home Shield. What do your March Madness brackets and your home appliances and systems have in common? They both tend to get busted. Now, as a benefit with select American Home Shield warranty plans, you can conveniently video chat with a live repair expert to help assess or fix an issue. Talk about taking home protection to the next level. And thanks to American Home Shield, we're able to video chat in Hank to get an expert assist as you pick your favorite teams for the 2025 tournament. Hank?
John Wooden is the all-time leader in men's basketball championships with 10. Coach K is second with 5.
Oh, thank you so much, Hank. We're here to help prevent a busted bracket, just like American Home Shield is here to help with a busted home appliance or system. Listen, I own a home. Things break all the time. American Home Shield is there for you. This is where our friends at American Home Shield come in. When you have an American Home Shield warranty, last week I think I had a leak in the fridge at the bottom underneath. I should have called American Home Shield because they will help fix or replace covered parts of home systems and appliances, no matter their age. Plus, as a benefit with select plans, AHS offers a convenient video chat feature that lets you connect with a live repair expert to help assess or even fix a home issue in real time. Listeners can get 20% off any plan today. Just visit ahs.com/PMT to sign up. Don't wait until something is busted. Get ahead of home repairs with AHS. Go to ahs.com/PMT for 20% off any plan today. See ahs.com/contracts for coverage details, including limit amounts, fees, limitations, and exclusions. Okay, PFT, what's the next region?
We going down?
Yeah,
down
we're going
Florida's
down.
region?
Yeah,
we're going
west.
Okay, so we're starting in the south, and then we're going down to the west.
West, yeah.
Yeah. So Florida, UConn.
Great game.
Incredible game. Danny Hurley actually coached an awesome game. Because if you saw Florida play, the way that they handled their business, you thought that they were just gonna run UConn out of the gym.
Yeah.
And the way that UConn kind of like took away some of the strengths that Florida had, this was as good a job that Danny Hurley's done coaching. And then after the game, him saying, "I hope they don't fuck you like they fucked us." He kind of lost his shit. Danny Hurley lost his shit.
No way.
And a lot of people are upset at Danny Hurley for being a bad loser. I think he would say, "Yes, I am a bad loser." I think he would agree with those people. But also, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care that he's a bad loser.
People get upset about Danny Hurley, whatever he does. And I'll say it again. The guy wins. Obviously, he didn't win this game, but he did actually finish. They're still, I think, 14-0 in their last 14 tournament games against the spread.
Against the spread, covered, big time.
Yeah, covered. So, and he said afterwards, like, we fought like champions. And I actually agree with that. UConn was not as good as Florida. UConn fought like a team defending their title and not going out in a sad way. And yeah, Danny Hurley's going to yell about the refs after. Of
course.
What did you expect?
That's what coaches do. That's what fans do after a game.
Here's the thing. I would rather Danny Hurley yell that in a camera than a coach be mad about the refs, get up at the podium and just give cliches and lie about everything.
You know what? Also, maybe I'm not a doctor, so I can't diagnose him. He might have Tourette's.
He could.
He winces a lot during the games. When he drops those F-bombs, it might just be a byproduct of Tourette's.
There was a clip, too, where he might have told Luke Murray, his assistant, to shut up.
Shut up, yeah. But that's just a direct communicator, Big Cat. If you're in the moment, you only have X amount of seconds during a timeout. You got to be direct and to the point. You can't be having side conversations.
And it really was like Florida's a better team. UConn had their struggles all year, but their coaching staff is so good. Like, watching that first half, they confused the fuck out of Florida. UConn runs a very complex offense. It's beautiful to watch, and they confused Florida many times. They just couldn't hit the shots.
Yeah.
Like, they were scheming wide open shots. They ended up shooting, I think, 27% from three. That was the difference. They just didn't have the shot making that Walter Clayton has. And Walter Clayton, he is awesome.
He is.
He is awesome to watch. Think St. John's could have used him?
Probably.
Yeah, because he did play for Rick Pitino at Iona. But Walter Clayton is he glides on the floor. I don't know what it is. His movement is just so smooth.
He's
and
always
control.
in rhythm.
He's always in rhythm. And that dagger three that he hit was just a big time shot in a big time moment. And Florida, this is why I love the tournament too, because Florida plays in the SEC where it's just constant up and down scoring, every team scoring 80, 90. It's physical, but then they go and play against UConn and UConn throws things at them they haven't seen, and that's why the tournament is so difficult, because you can just have one team that has your number on one day and it's it.
Mm-hmm. And to clear something up, I saw what Danny Hurley said after the game, and then I went back to look at maybe some of the calls he was complaining about, and I think the refs called a pretty good game.
Yeah, I mean, the refs have not been like awesome in this tournament.
They were okay
but
in
it's
that
also,
game. Nothing egregious. Florida was just the better team. The better team won.
Yeah.
And that's good. I'm glad that we get to see more of Florida. But also, this was like unexpectedly good performance from UConn.
UConn fought like a champion. That's like all you can ask for, because I did not think they were going to win this game going into this game. And with 5 minutes left, I was like, UConn might have them here. And that's a credit to UConn. Florida, though, is nasty. They're fun to watch too. They just shoot threes and dunk.
Yep.
And it's fun. Okay. Probably the best game of the whole weekend. Probably the best game of the whole tournament.
This was the madness.
Maryland, Colorado State. Derek Queen's buzzer beater that now is being called a travel, and it might have been a travel, but I'm so happy they didn't call it a travel because I wanted to watch a buzzer beater. That was such an awesome big boy move by him. And then afterwards just saying, like, were you nervous for the moment? He's like, no, I'm from Baltimore.
Yeah, so they asked him, what play did you call? And he said, I said, who wants the ball? And then Queen said, give me the motherfucking ball.
Yeah.
So I gave him the ball.
Yeah, Kevin Willard said that after.
Yeah.
He asked everyone in the huddle who wants the ball, and he was like, I want the fucking ball.
So Jalen Lake was the guy from Colorado State that hit that shot that then got passed
Before, yes.
by Queen. We should do a Mount Rushmore. Can we put that, Hank, can you write that down maybe next to the bonk list?
The shot before the shot?
Yeah, the shots that nobody remembers.
Yeah. That's a good
like
one.
Bangers that just get completely lost to history because
Marcus Page.
Marcus Page.
Oh, yeah. Marcus Page. Good one. Very good one.
Javon Curse.
That's a big one. Javon
Curse?
The catch before Malcolm Butler.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one.
Javon Curse?
Was it Javon Curse?
Javon Curse was a defensive end.
The defensive end from Tennessee.
And Philadelphia.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah. You're talking about the guy in the Seahawks who caught it off his
Jermaine
butt.
Curse? What was his name? It was a great catch by that guy on the sideline.
Yeah.
Jermaine Curse.
Yes.
Sorry.
Good job.
So,
Brian.
because we
Pretty
don't
close.
because we don't remember him.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. We should do that.
That banger of a joke in My American Cousin right before Booth got up there.
Ooh.
It was a great joke.
Got him. This was an awesome game, though. And Florida's nasty. Fun to watch. Oh, no, we're talking about Maryland, Colorado State. My brain's fucking done.
March Crabness.
I feel bad for Colorado State.
I do too.
They were one of the hottest teams going in the tournament. They played awesome. I mean, they beat Memphis. I know they were favorites. It was a 12-5. And then they took Maryland to the brink here. And, yeah, it probably was a travel. But, again,
You can't call that.
you can't call that.
that
and
play
also
happens
you can't,
every game and it's never called.
We spent the entire weekend saying, why is this on TV? Can we get this off TV?
No.
There's
keep it
a
on.
woman
Keep it on.
naked who's just like,
Keep it on.
who doesn't have legs.
Yeah.
Turn it off.
Naked and afraid. Why are you looking at me?
Hey,
Hank's the
turn
one
it
in the
off.
room.
remote's not working.
Turn it off.
The
Yes,
remote's
it
not
is.
working.
Turn it off.
She's got no legs.
Hank, put that
I
on
don't want to see this every time. Turn it off.
on the bunk list for yourself that you put that on.
And wanted it to just keep it on. Now it's a dude naked walking around. Get it off.
Naked and afraid.
This is just TBS getting all these ratings from the games. Get it off. Why can't you turn it off? Turn it off. He's not turning. He's actually watching this.
And the longer it stays on, the longer I kind of like it.
What was
Thank
the
you,
thing
Hank.
we would always come on when we were in the old studio in New York?
American Ninja Warrior.
Yeah,
That's
that's
it.
right. American Ninja Warrior was like our closing time. Time to go home.
And there's a show that's always on TV in the morning after the NBA playoffs. If you like go to the gym,
Yeah.
and they still have the TVs on from last night.
Yeah,
Was it Charmed? Is that the one that's always on?
it might be. Charmed.
Charmed. Yeah.
Yeah, but Colorado State, they played their balls off. And what I was gonna say is, you can't spend all weekend saying there's no madness, and then when there's the one madness that happens, like travel.
Yeah, the travel
What the
people.
fuck?
A lot of people, when you slow it down, you look at it, he might have taken a gather step, which you can't do in college.
Right.
But that same play happens all the time. It's never called in real time.
Unless you went to Colorado State, that should not bother. you.
Right. Colorado State fans, every right to be upset. Send that replay everywhere. Everyone else, it was an awesome shot. It was an awesome moment. It was a big boy move. Derek Queen is really fucking good at basketball. I don't know. We've had this debate when we've been watching the games. The baggy long sleeves, not a huge fan of, but everything else about Derek Queen is awesome.
It just must get super hot.
It's crazy.
It is kind of nuts.
He must just love a sweat.
Although, like, you see some of
It's kind of swaggy.
You think
well,
so?
it looks
I mean,
different.
you hit a shot like that, too.
True.
We're going to remember that, yeah.
Now everyone's going to do it.
Jokic could probably wear one of those.
Gene Steratore said it was not a travel.
Gene said no travel.
Gene Steratore also.
much Gene.
Let's
Too-
go to,
wait, yeah, that's a take.
Way too much
Way
Gene.
too much Gene.
Let's go to Gene, and he'll tell us if the refs got this one right. Yeah, I think they got this one right, guys. All right, thanks, Gene.
Another way. The replays have got to be fixed.
Do you
There's
know what?
too many
Yeah, we're gonna
replays
add
with it 2
replays-
minutes ago.
Replays with travel now. Like,
know what
we don't
need-
want that.
You know what they need to do to get the replays, like maybe fewer replays? Every time they do a replay, it should just be a solo cam on the ref's face, and then we slowly just do like facts about that guy's life. And then if you do too many replays, eventually it's just going to be your address.
Too many more
We're going
facts.
to post
yeah.
your address online. Like, it's just like, oh, this is what this guy, this is what he likes. This is what he, and it's just, hey, man, you did 15 replays in the last 4 minutes. Now we know your passwords to all your computers and your address and your wife's name. We know everything.
I think what you do is line by line, you just show his browser history.
Yeah, right. Something to make it so that, like, hey, we got to do this replay really fast, because if we don't, they're going to know that I was on Pornhub an hour before tip.
Also, Gene's territory. He's a football school.
Yeah.
He's not a basketball.
Yeah, do you want to know
school.
my numbers?
Yeah, let's go. Let's
Yeah.
do it.
It's way more basketball schools than I was anticipating.
Okay, so go, but say the school and then say whether it's a football or basketball school.
Okay. Arkansas football.
Yep.
Yep,
Texas Tech I put under I don't know.
No, that's football school.
it's football school.
Okay. But okay. Arizona basketball.
Yep.
Duke basketball. BYU I put I don't know.
I think
That's
it's-
kind of just
I think-
Mormon.
Yeah.
yeah,
Bama football. Maryland basketball.
yes.
Florida we said basketball, but
It's
Yeah.
a true 50-50
Yeah.
school.
I think Florida's a football.
It
school.
is, but
I.
they've also won.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But if
Yeah.
Florida's a football.
Yeah,
school.
it is a football school, but it's like they're so good at basketball
Yeah.
too.
Purdue basketball.
Yep.
Houston basketball.
Yep.
Michigan football. Auburn football. Kentucky basketball. Tennessee we said half.
I think at the end of the day, it's a football school.
It's football. I was more saying half. I respect their fans.
Okay.
Okay.
Ole Miss football, Michigan State basketball.
Yeah.
So
Good list.
So what was the total?
well now we switched a couple of them, and I don't know how to do this math.
Oh no.
I think
Subtraction?
it would be. Are we putting? So we're putting Florida
Florida's a football school.
football. So I think that would be 8 football.
We got
Eight.
that'd be 8.
It's 16. We're gonna get to 16.
8, yeah, no, that actually
gonna
makes
say
sense.
that.
8
I was
football,
gonna say
7
that.
basketball,
Mormon.
one Mormon.
Okay. All right.
Graphic. Shane graphic.
Get it. Okay. Texas Tech, Drake. Texas Tech is good. It was better than Drake. Ben McCollum, I feel bad for Drake. They have lost their coach in back-to-back years. Darren DeVries went to West Virginia, now in Indiana. Ben McCollum goes to Iowa. And that sucks because they finally avoided the Drake meltdown. Then they went up against Texas Tech and JT Toppin, who was, I think he was 11 for 13 from the field. Just an absolute beast. And, yeah, that sucks for Drake.
That's the kind of guy where it's like if Drake had that mystery billionaire NIL money, you're not going to get a guy like
Right.
JT Toppin that's going to be able to do that.
Right. And Ben McCollum's a really good coach, and he's from Iowa, and it was kind of obvious that he was going to go to Iowa. Hank, we'll see. He can play fast. He played fast at his Division III when he won national titles there. He played very slow at Drake, but I think that was more because that's what he had. Here's a Texas Tech, maybe a basketball school stat. Texas Tech, they have gone to 4 Sweet 16s over the last 7 tournaments with 3 different coaches. Pretty impressive.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah. To do it with 3 different coaches in that short of amount of time, that's culture.
You know
that's
what?
basketball.
I'm willing to hear arguments from Texas Tech students and alumni about basketball school.
Yeah.
After hearing that stat, because I was not aware. I just knew Chris Beard, and now.
Yeah, Beard, Adams, and then now obviously Grant McCaslin, who's their coach.
Yeah, so that is a strong, compelling argument for Texas Tech basketball school. I just feel like the football runs.
No,
deeper.
I agree with that,
And
but
Texas,
it's just they
yeah.
deserve a lot of credit because going to that 4 Sweet 16s in 7 years with 3 different coaches is very hard to do.
It's bullshit that they wouldn't let the Drake Bulldog in again.
Yeah. And Jeffrey was there. Shout out Jeffrey. Did Memes, you have something? Did you point to Memes? Memes got nothing.
Memes, give me a taste.
I didn't- waiting for BYU.
point to. I coughed. I went like that.
Okay, last one. Best one in this region. One we'll probably talk the most about. Arkansas St. John's. Now, this game, if you're someone who is like, man, I wish we could watch, I wish it was 90s basketball again, this was the game for you. Outside of the fact that they still took 41 3-pointers between the two teams, they made 4 of them.
It was bad.
9.7%. This was 90s basketball. It was physical. It was hard fought. They took a lot of 3-pointers, didn't make a lot of 3-pointers. It was ugly, but Arkansas out St. John's, and this was what every St. John's fan was fearful in the back of their mind, where they were like, we know we can't shoot. If we get into a game where we're not shooting, and then R.J. Lewis, who's the Big East Player of the Year, got benched because he was so bad. I don't even understand, too, when people were like, how do you have him benched? Like, did you watch the game?
Yeah, he was very bad.
He was so bad.
He had a bad night.
But if he's your
I
best
personally-
player, you
I-
He
gotta-
was so bad, though.
But if that's the horse you rode in on, like,
But he was making, like, he was not only, like, missing shots, he was, like, fucking up their offense bad.
I still think you got to play him.
In a close game, I agree. I think you have to be willing to say he's our best player. One of these has to go in. If we lose because he's out there, that's fine. We'll go down with the ship.
What do you end up shooting? 3 for 17.
Yeah, he was bad. Don't get me wrong. He was bad. And then Pitino said he played 30 minutes. That's a long time.
Yeah.
And in Rick Pitino's history, 30 minutes is
A very long time.
very long
Very
time.
long time. That's like
That's like 4.
120.
One of the guys off the bench played more minutes than him.
Yeah, and Kadari Richmond fouled out. It was a fun game because of the storylines. I don't know if you guys read any of the stories beforehand. I love the Cal Pitino rivalry because they refuse to admit that they hate each other's guts. Like, hate each other's guts. And they refuse to actually say it. Where the Pitino before the game, I think on Friday, he said, we don't know each other's wives or children. We're not really close friends. I don't know a whole lot about him except he's a terrific basketball coach. Mm-hmm. I think you know a lot about him.
You know everything about
He was
the guy.
literally, Pitino was his camp counselor when in a basketball camp when Cal was growing up.
Yeah.
That's when they first met. They've known each other for 50 plus years.
Yeah.
They've crisscrossed a million different ways.
These guys know as much about the other guy as it's possible for a grown man to know about another grown man. There's no question about it. They're very similar guys.
Yeah. But they're Italian. They're basketball coaches. They hate each other. They won't admit they hate each other. They're even, I didn't even know this. There's like this lore that when Pitino was at Kentucky and Cal
Pitino was at Louisville.
Pitino was at he was at Kentucky before that. Cal was going to get the job at UMass. Pitino went to UMass. Pitino says that he voted for Cal to get that job, and there's like lore that did not happen. And Cal will say it like sarcastically, be like, "Thanks so much for my career.
He got me my job.
Appreciate you so much, dude." Mm-hmm. And like, there's this whole it's like a very mysterious. There was closed door meetings where he was vouching for the other guy going up for the job, not Cal, and then he took credit for vouching for Cal afterwards.
So they have essentially the same career. They started out, they coached in the Northeast. They tried to go to the NBA. Mm-hmm. Didn't work out.
Played each other when they were in the Nets and Celtics.
Yeah, went back, stayed in Kentucky, stayed in Tennessee for the other guy, then went to Kentucky, and now they're going up against each other one more time in the tournament. They have had very similar careers. They know each other extremely well.
And this is Cal. Cal is now 3-2 in the tournament against Pitino, and I think he's won. I wrote it down. He's won 11 out of the last 13, or 9 out of the last 11 against Pitino. So he's kind of owning him right now.
And this is his 4th team that he's taken to the Final Four, or excuse me, the Sweet 16.
Yeah, and his first time in the Sweet 16 since 2019. So he wasn't able to do it with Kentucky when they were 3, 6, and 2 seed. But I just love it. Oh, the other one that I love from Pitino, he said when they asked him about the rivalry with Cal, he was like, "I only had one rival. It was Jim Calhoun."
I like that.
Such a neg.
Mm-hmm.
Just being like, I never considered Cal a rival. But it's so clear they just despise each
They
other.
both had stuff vacated.
Yeah.
They started barking at each other during the game, too.
Yeah. It was great.
Cal should come to Villanova.
Oh.
He should.
You can't pay the money that Arkansas is paying him.
I know, but
He's got Philly roots, kind of.
I mean,
he's
it
from
would be
Pennsylvania.
he belongs in the Big East. He belongs in the Big East.
Oh, man, that would be so
that would be
great.
awesome.
Because they do always just crisscross. Even when Cal took Memphis, Louisville was in their conference for a couple of years.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we need it. We need it. But it was a great game. Arkansas. Is this Cal's best coaching job?
Did you see how quick the handshake happened at the end of the game, too?
Yeah.
The game was still going on.
Yeah.
Like, I think that there were, like, maybe 5 seconds remaining on the clock, and Cal and Pitino, like, right in each other's face. Quick handshake. A handshake that fast, they don't like each other.
No, they hate each other, but they won't say it. They won't say it, and it's so awesome. Saying Jim Calhoun was my only rival is so awesome.
They also might love each other.
You think you think if they ever got in the room together and it was just the two of them, they'd start kissing?
I think what would happen would be they'd start fighting, and then they'd start wrestling, and then they'd stop and be like, what are we doing?
We love each other. We fucking love each other.
I've wanted to do this for years.
I am very interested to see what happens with RJ Luis because I think he's got another year. And that was an all-time, like, Pitino, we're winning my way or no way.
Yeah.
You know, so will he stay? I assume he'll stay. And will he have a redemption moment? And then Pitino's style still can work in today's college basketball, where it's like you could be hard on your guys, you can bench your guys, but you'll get to the mountaintop with your guys.
It does feel like a moment that we look back on in a year and we're like, remember that? They show like a clip during the game.
Yeah, he's gonna have a big moment.
Here's him on the bench for the second half of that game against Arkansas. And then he has a great game.
Yeah.
Goes out there and crushes it, and it's like complete redemption.
It's like, yeah, Pitino got that out of him.
I personally would have kept him in the game, but Pitino, he might be a better basketball coach than me.
He coaches his way. He's been doing it for a very long time. Mm-hmm. But yeah, is this Cal's best coaching job? 0-5 to start the SEC schedule. He talked a lot about how it's like, he said this is as rewarding a year as I've had based on how far we've come. It is impressive. I mean, he remember the first day he was at Arkansas, he's like, talk to the team, have no team. Mm-hmm. It's not, it was kind of like Cal, because Cal, like you said, Cal and Pitino are very similar. Cal, his career has like been the underdog stuff until he went to Kentucky, because he was at UMass, he was at Memphis, which wasn't like a blue blood. Kentucky made him soft. Now he's going back. Arkansas's got basketball history, but they're not they're not Kentucky. Now he's kind of the underdog.
40
he's
minutes
feeling
of hell.
himself. Yeah, he's feeling himself again.
Do we think Kentucky was holding Coach Cal back?
It was making him soft.
It was making him cater too much to getting the star players there.
Yeah.
Because they cared so much about the recruiting.
Now he's going to
I like that.
out.
That Coach Cal is now a great coach now that he's free from the pressures.
Right. It was too luxurious in Lexington for him. Now he's got to get back to his roots and coach basketball.
He's on a roll in Little Rock.
Yeah.
On the flip side, is this season a disappointment for the Johnnies?
No. I do not think so.
Disappointment? I mean, they won the Big East.
The second year in a full rebuild, they won the Big East. And again, I think the tournament is so chaotic and so hard to win that like you can't. If they were a Florida, they didn't have the talent of a Florida or a Duke or a Auburn. They had a very good team, but it wasn't like we all thought this could happen where they just don't make their shots.
Yeah. It turns out that having good shot-making ability on your team is important to winning basketball games. It's like they built the entire team out of Ben Simmons. If there was no basket, this would be a great team.
Yeah, if this was if this was year 5 at Pitino and St. John's, they hadn't been to a Sweet 16, I think you could definitely say that. What do you think?
I would like to take a point away from Hank. That was a bad take.
You don't get to determine that.
He was actually asking a question.
It wasn't a take, it was a question.
Max, I'll hear your appeal. You can appeal it.
I would appeal. Wait, appeal what?
Question. What's the difference between a point and a question?
Hank asked a question that was a good thought starter. Actually, now it's 2-1, Hank. That was a good thought starter.
No, it wasn't. That was just so obviously wrong.
You can ask a question.
That's a question that will be asked on a premier sports show today or tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah, you just did it.
Yeah.
No, on like a television.
Oh, no. Point Max.
Wrong.
Point Max. You just
television program.
You just did it on a premier sports show.
Yeah.
On a television program as well.
Premier sports show. I thought that was a good thought starter. Thank you, Hank.
You're welcome.
I thought it was a bad thought starter.
Deduction for Max. It's 2-0.
I think if you're a 2 seed, you win the Big East and you don't make the Sweet 16, that's disappointing.
We should be keeping score between the two of them. Contributions to the show every episode.
It's 2-0 right now.
No
most
more,
dangerous lead in part of my take.
This is fun to do.
You don't let Max.
Well, when we started, I said it's not a competition. Then you just tried to take a point away from me. That's insane.
Max, you did get a point for the football basketball school thing, but then we had to take it away for trying to interrupt Hank's question. That was a good thought starter.
I think that was a stupid question.
Okay, 2-0.
Max, why do you think it's a stupid question? Don't.
You only care about the Big East. Max, we know the answer.
Don't the expectations?
They won the Big East.
The Big East isn't even in the Sweet 16.
But
so how good was the conference?
Don't they have to have higher expectations?
St. John's was a dumpster fire before Pitino went there. The coaches that they brought, they were just a revolving door of bad coaches that underperformed and were very disappointing year after year. Pitino in his second year won the Big East.
Which
and
is basically a mid-major. They don't have any teams in the Sweet 16.
So you like St. John, like what Pitino has done for St. John's
is an accomplishment and not making the Sweet 16. It's the same thing.
He's giving terrible points.
Good debate.
Well,
boys.
no, because Hank's point is that the Big East doesn't have any teams left. right?
Yeah.
So how
But
good
it's still winning your conference.
does that
It's still getting a 2 seed.
Yeah, but does that subtract from how impressive winning the Big East was?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, UConn lost to Florida by 2 points today, and everyone is saying that Florida's the best team in the country. Like it's still a competitive conference.
You actually made his point because it's a down year for UConn. They don't have a good team this year, so that's a minus point for the Big East.
Did you just lose another point?
Yeah.
UConn. What do you mean? UConn was in that game the entire game against the best team in the country.
They had a down year for their team.
But it's still a good team.
I mean,
Yes, it's a down year for the Big East, but you still win the Big East.
I started this conversation off by fully agreeing with you, Max. And the more we talk about it, the more I'm seeing Hank's point.
You are just forcing yourself to see Hank's point.
I know
It wasn't even a
because
point, it was a question.
You're not making any points to the contrary.
Yeah, I just gave you the whole point about St. John's. St. John's went through horrible coach after horrible coach, and then they win the Big East under Rick Pitino's second year is a plus to the program.
Is this going to end up
In a
being?
down year.
Is this going to end up being like a Menendez thing where we pit them against each other, then they kill both of us?
Yes, I like this.
No, it was a stupid question. Max is right. Like obviously, St. John's is happy with the way the season went. Yes, Hank. You get the chance to rebut.
Better or worse question than the Iowa State code question?
About as bad.
Yeah, it's like I wasn't asking the question, Hank. I was asking if it's time to prepare to even have the conversation.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes. All right. Let's take another break and then we'll keep going through the bracket. This is fun, boys. We're having fun, even though our brains are basically mush.
We'll get back to the games in a second. They're brought to you by Fast Growing Trees. Did you know Fast Growing Trees is the biggest online nursery in the U.S. with thousands of different plants and over 2 million happy customers? They have all the plants that your yard needs, like fruit trees, privacy trees, flowering trees, shrubs, so much more. Whatever plants you're interested in, Fast Growing Trees has you covered. Find the perfect fit for your climate and space. Fast Growing Trees makes it easy to get your dream yard. Order online, get your plants delivered directly to your door in just a few days without ever leaving home. Their Live and Thrive guarantee ensures your plants arrive happy and healthy. Plus, get support from trained plant experts on call to help you plan your landscape, choose the right plants, and learn how to take care of them. If you go to fastgrowingtrees.com right now, you can get 15% off your first purchase when you use promo code PMT at checkout. This springtime, they have the best deals for your yard. You can get up to half off on select plants and other deals. And plus, you get that bonus 15% off your first purchase when you use code PMT at checkout. FastGrowingTrees.com, promo code PMT. Now's the perfect time to plant. Use PMT to save today. Offer is valid for a limited time. Terms and conditions apply. These games are also brought to you by HelloFresh. If you're tired of figuring out what's for dinner night after night, especially on those busy weekdays, get dinner done the easy way thanks to HelloFresh. It's easy to find time to eat well with 50 wholesome, hassle-free meals to choose from each week delivered to your door. HelloFresh new ready-made meals go from the fridge to your fork in just 3 minutes. It's the same high-quality ingredients and restaurant-worthy flavor you expect from HelloFresh, just with none of the work. Their lineup of prep and bake meals come together with minimal mess and only 5 minutes of prep, so your oven does most of the work, not you. Plus, they're pretty healthy. At this time of year, it's easy to fall behind on the diet. I know we've been eating pretty bad for the last few days. In the weekdays, you're going to need a reset. You're going to need HelloFresh. Get up to 10 free meals, and you get a free high-protein item for life at HelloFresh.com/take10FM. That's take10FM. 1 item per box with active subscription. Free meals applied as discount on the first box. New subscribers only. Varies by plan. That's up to 10 free HelloFresh meals. Just go to HelloFresh.com/take10FM.
Okay, East. Duke is awesome.
Wagon.
They're so good, and I don't hate John Shire.
White Mike.
White Mike. It was very funny that he tried to get his team to call him White Mike.
Well, no, I think that was from
No,
the Pat
I know, but then he
flip.
told his team.
Yeah.
He was like, "Yeah, see, I could ball. Call me White Mike." I hate the institution of Duke. I don't hate John Shire yet. It will once he starts winning national titles, which I'm sure he probably will do this year. I will start hating him like I hated Coach K. But Duke also has I hate that I'm gonna say something nice about Duke. The fact that Duke has their fucking human victory cigar being a 5'8" guy named Spencer Hubbard is so funny. Wearing 55. That guy out on the court today, he's 27-0 when he gets into a game. He was so funny. What a preposterous number. What a preposterous height. Like, just ridiculous.
What's his story? Where was he from?
He's from L.A., I believe. He probably was the best college basketball player, in his high school. And I think he was a walk-on. And he's just... I love when teams have human victory cigars, and the fact that he's 5'8" makes it so much better because it's so clear when he's out there just how ridiculous it looks.
That's what I love about these guys.
What do you average?
Is that he might be the best player to ever play sports at his high school.
Wait, what do you average?
13-4.
Okay, so no.
No, so he's not. Okay.
Never mind.
So how was he on Duke?
And he went to, Harvard Westlake? I'm pretty sure that's is that where Bronny went?
Westlake is like one of the nicest.
Yeah, he probably played on a team with all Division I
So
guys.
wait, but now we're connecting some dots. Did LeBron get this guy to Duke?
Maybe.
Did JJ?
I'm a Spencer Hubbard fan. I fucking hate that I am, but I am. He's so funny when he gets out there.
I thought Proctor was really
Jeremy
good
Lin
today,
went there.
obviously.
Jeremy Lin. Yeah, no, I mean, Duke is just so good. They have so many guys. And
He went 7 for 8 from 3.
Constantinople was like, he was bad for the first part of the game, and then he had this drive on the baseline where he dunked one home. He's like, oh yeah, that guy's out there, and he's really fucking good too.
Spencer is the great-grandson of Washington Duke,
The guy that founded Duke?
the father of James B. Duke, the person who arranged the movement of Trinity College from rural Randolph County to Durham in 1892 and provided financial support thereafter.
I love that guy.
That's hilarious.
Jeremy Lin did not go there.
Okay, another point taken away from Max. Max, can you look up the other storyline that we have going on in this tournament is the Montverde team from last year.
Yeah, crazy.
Because Derek Queen was on it, Cooper Flagg, and then one of his teammates who was on Baylor was playing in this game. What they must have won every game by $1 billion, right?
I want to know what their stats were.
Yeah, what was their I know they didn't lose a game, but how is this even?
Who was Batman and who was Robin on that team?
Like, could you imagine? I don't even know where is Montverde?
Montverde.
New York?
Green Mountain.
I'm going to say New York. Feels like a New York. Where is it? It's a New York or it's like a DMV?
I thought it was like
Maryland?
Maryland.
Yeah, it's
I think
Maryland.
Is it Maryland?
Okay. Is it a
That's
real
where Mello
school?
went?
Is it a real school or is it a like AI Academy or whatever the fuck it's called?
No, I think it's real, but it's basketball focused.
Florida.
So I think it's maybe not a real. Is it a real school? Or is it everyone just moves to Florida to be awesome at basketball? Do they're it's definitely not a public school.
No. It's
Yeah.
a prep school.
So imagine being on like playing prep basketball and being like a 5'8" kid, and then you just show up and it's Derek Queen and Cooper Flagg.
Yeah.
Oh my!
So they were 33-0. They won
118 to 28.
Their first game of the year.
Like poor Southlake. That's brutal.
Look up the stats for that game.
And also find us the championship game because I'm curious. I'm curious to see how bad they won. So the championship game they won 79-63. So they didn't play it. Did they play any close games? Did they have a single game that was close? What a wagon of a team. It's crazy. Yeah, so Robert Wright, Cooper Flagg, Derek Queen, Liam McNeely, who plays at UConn. They have everyone. Everyone was good.
Okay, so Oak
Austin
Ridge.
Newell. They all are good.
Is that Oak Ridge? They only beat 78-72.
Oh, wow. Tough game.
Prolific Prep. It looks like twice they had close games with them. 78-72 and then 76-71.
Prolific Prep. That does sound like a fake school. That sounds like Bishop whatever.
Could you imagine being, like, honestly, playing against them? That would suck so bad.
Yeah, Memes has his hand raised. Yes, Memes.
The 2020 Mount Vert roster is like one of the greatest rosters of all time. Too.
Oh,
Who's
give it
on
to
that
us.
team?
Max pull up, but it's like Cade Cunningham, Scotty Barnes,
Future face of this league.
I'm still taking
Moses Moody,
2016 Chino Hills.
Nemhard, Oh, they had like 5 NBA players on.
So it's not a real school.
No.
They just get everyone to come. Yeah, Cade Cunningham, Moses Moody, Ryan Nembhard, Scotty Barnes, future face of this league. Damn.
Hank, who do you got?
2016 Chino Hills.
Who's on
Okay.
that team?
The Balls.
Oh, Point Hank over
Point
memes.
Hank. That would suck so much to have to go play against
Just put on
them.
your head memes.
What do you even do? What do you do if you're a junior or a sophomore in prep school, Florida, and you're, let's say 5'10", you haven't hit your growth spurt yet, and you have to D up Cooper Flag?
Yeah, I would fake an injury.
Yeah, but Titus did say that would be a diarrhea game for
Yeah,
him.
I would. It wouldn't be fake
diarrhea.
No, but mine wouldn't be fake. Like I would see that on the calendar, and then 2 days before, I would drink expired milk.
Yeah. Yeah, but this graphic was this is the Washington Redskins graphic of the tournament.
Yeah,
I saw it every single game.
It's everywhere.
Yeah, it is everywhere. But Duke is awesome. I don't really know what do you guys have any thoughts on Baylor boys? Experian bracket.
Wright was electric. He was fun to watch. Edgecombe, great physical guy.
Edgecombe's going to be in the NBA.
Yeah.
Jeremy Roach should have stayed. I don't know why he left.
Yeah, so he
probably
left.
got pushed out.
He left because he thought he was getting pushed out, and then he wanted to start, and then he went to Baylor, and then Wright showed up, and then he kind of got edged out there. Tough break. I like Roach.
Yeah. What are you looking up now? Pacific Prep?
I'm looking at like who's good on the team that played them close last year, and they have this guy, the $7 million guy for BYU.
Oh.
I'm just looking
That
at
game probably made him $7 million.
Yeah. Played them tight. I got to watch some tape on this team. Probably so sick. I wish we had Bosco here. He probably could have told us every game. Watched them all. All right. Oregon, Arizona. That was a fun game. Caleb Love was nuclear. 5 for 7 from 3, 29 points. I don't know where you stand on this, but like obviously conference realignment sucks, but it was very cool to see an old school rivalry in that kind of setting early in the tournament, which normally wouldn't have been able to happen.
Right. So when those two teams play each other, even though they're in different conferences right now, in my mind, just throw all that out. It's a Pac-12 game.
We had a moment on Sunday night where we had Pac-12 After Dark back.
Yeah.
Bill Walton was watching that game from heaven, smiling.
And I think Arizona moves on because they won that Pac-12 game. I think now it's ACC Pac-12.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's Duke and Arizona.
Yeah, Duke and Arizona, which is they played in the national title.
Love was on that team.
Love was on Duke.
Yeah.
Or no, on UNC.
UNC, yeah.
Yeah, UNC. No, I'm saying Duke and Arizona played in the national title way back in
the day when it was
99.
Yeah.
Miles Simon. But yeah, this was an awesome game to watch.
It was fun. Oregon just they got outworked on the glass a little bit.
Yeah. They fought hard.
A couple bounces didn't go their way. Those 2 missed free throws and then the ball going out of bounds took the possession away. That felt like that was the end.
Yeah. Dana Altman, very good coach. He's in that the chart I brought up earlier for Tom Izzo. The chart is Tom Izzo, God of March. He's his own tier. And then there's the Trust Them Blindly tier. Mm-hmm. And it's Cal, Hurley, Dana Altman, Rick Pitino, and Chris Beard. They all have significant wins over expected average.
What'd you think about the Ducks unis? The Fighting Ducks.
I liked him.
I liked them.
You like the Fighting Ducks?
They popped.
It was something a little bit different.
Yeah. I'm happy we had a competitive game to finish off the weekend because it did feel like we were missing something. And I wish we had. Here's the take. I think that you should get to foul up 3 once.
So I was thinking about this because I don't like it as a viewer.
No, it sucks.
The strategy is actually great. It's a very good strategy, and you should do it as a coach. But as a viewer, when you get the ball and you're down 3, like everyone has that anticipation of they can make a shot and tie the game. We take it away, it kind of sucks. I just don't know how they'd be able to change that rule without also changing the rule of if you're losing, fouling intentionally.
Right.
You know, like how many of those do you get? Because it's the same strategy. It's just it's no fun when the Rabbits got the gun.
What about if you can foul up 3 once, the second time they get three shots, but you probably wouldn't want to do it.
I think they should just be more lenient with is it a shooting motion?
Yeah. It does rob. It is smart strategy, but it robs us of big time moments where you just like to see it be played out.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like one time would be fun where you then it's strategy of when do we use it? You know, you get it one time.
An intentional foul when
Up
when you're up 3.
Exactly up 3.
In the last
You get one chance.
in the last minute of the game.
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
I also, because just dumb ideas as your brain slowly melts into basketball, it'd be kind of fun to do one game where you shoot till you miss on free throw line.
You just wouldn't foul.
Yeah, right? But imagine
I also
the
like-
team went on like a 20-0 run because the guy just got hot on the free throw line.
I loved what Arizona did at the end when they would put, what's his name, Delorso in?
Yeah.
The skinny kid. It's like, here's our foul shooter. And then every single time they just schemed him open. That was his only purpose, really.
Yeah.
At the end, they schemed him open off the inbounds play, and Oregon had no choice but to foul the one guy they didn't want to foul.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. BYU, Wisconsin. This game sucked for me. Well, let me say this. BYU was awesome. They hit every 3. They're really good. Saunders, I hate that guy, but he's so fucking good at basketball. I was going into this game, I was like, I thought it was a 50-50 game just because I know how good BYU is, and it was like whichever team makes their threes. And then when BYU came out in the Duke uniforms, that didn't help. And also it was like a home crowd for BYU. But yeah, altitude. It sucked. I'll say this, Wisconsin fought their balls off. In past years, they have just gotten punched in the mouth and died. And they actually, I mean,
Something got hit in the balls and came back to life.
yeah, I wish Tanjay had shot a 3 there at the end. I wish they'd drawn something up. They kind of just like, hey, he was incredible, but I wish that we had one prayer of a 3, and it sucked. And then I did the fake Bitcoin tweet saying my phone got hacked, and then Twitter locked me out for 16 hours. So that was kind of funny.
It was a boy who cried wolf.
It was, I mean,
You've done the faked hack tweet probably 20 times, and every time Big Cat does this fucking tweet, he doesn't think about the people around him that get the collateral damage. We have people hitting all of us up, being like, "Hey, just so you guys know, Big Cat's account got hacked." But it's a very funny tweet, and it's a good strategy. This time it caught up to you, so you can get back in until when.
I got back in halftime of Florida UConn today, so I did it. We were live streaming. I was like, "Oh man, I got hacked again," and then we finished the stream, and I'm going home. And I get home and I pull up Twitter and it just says it's just the blank icons like,
yeah,
do you want to create a Twitter account?
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck?
X.
And then X, the everything app. And I texted our social guys like, I think I'm out. I think I got booted. I think X deleted my Bitcoin tweet.
That's good.
So, and then I had to send them, I had to fill out a report, and my report was my exact phrasing. It was just very funny that it actually ended up being okay because I just went to sleep instead of just mindlessly scrolling Twitter and getting more and more upset about Wisconsin losing. I had to write, so it was the help center description of the problem. I said, I did a fake tweet about being hacked as a bit because the Badgers lost in the tournament and I was sad.
Yeah, the best is when you do those tweets. Sometimes I get texts from people, mutual friends of ours.
Yeah.
Like people that know Big Cat and know me, but I get a text saying, hey, just so you know, can you tell Big Cat his account got hacked? And I'm like, you could just his phone didn't get hacked.
Well, it might, maybe.
You can text that to him.
Our social guys always text me, like they finally figured it out, but for the longest time they'd be like, hey, I think you just got hacked. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'll get a bunch of messages too being like, dude, you got hacked.
Yeah.
I'm not retiring it, but now I guess I have to alert X beforehand, being like, hey, I got an important game, and if things go wrong, like they always do, I will be doing this tweet so that I don't have to be online for a little bit.
I wonder if somebody
I need to
actually
go back to PS5s and not the Bitcoin.
Yeah.
You think Bitcoin was what did me?
Yeah.
Maybe, and also I
Shit.
think
I was trying to change it up.
there's probably a good chance that someone started a shitcoin
Yeah.
based off that tweet, like someone who was really in on the bit. I don't know what you would call
Well,
that.
I made up
if it was a bit and they wanted to start a coin after it.
I made up the whole number.
Yeah.
I just typed in random things. So, but yeah, the game sucked. Here's the thing. The worst part about the tournament, and this is now more so because of the transfer portal and NIL, I loved watching this Badger team. They were so much fun. I watched every game. I loved watching them play. I love Tanjay. Steven Crowell's been at Wisconsin forever. Max Klez, like all these guys. And that's the part. It's weirder than pro sports, where pro sports you're like, damn, my team lost. This fucking sucks. But next year we'll be back and we got the same team. In college sports, it's like a more sentimental of, I really just wanted to see Tanjay play another game for the Badgers, and I don't get to do that. So it's a different type of sadness that's not, I don't know. I'm not just expressing it well. I was bummed, but BYU played better, so I can't really say anything.
No, I get it. It's like a small era of your life is over.
Right. It's like I'll never get to see John Tanjay play for the Badgers again.
We live our lives in specific eras. If you're a fan of a pro team, those eras, the window is large.
Right.
If you're a college team, it's like you have to do something with these guys.
And it just gets ripped from you so suddenly that it just sucks. And I wanted to watch them play another game. I wanted to see. I think they had a very good year. I think they were a dangerous team. They got a shitty draw in having to play 6 games in 10 days in altitude, but that's just how it works sometimes.
What do you think about the ejection for the nut shot? Because the nut shot, I think that's against the Mormon code of conduct. I think it's actually very, very against it.
I said when watching the game, I think the refs should ref BYU based on Mormon laws. If they swear, they should be ejected.
If you touch another man's penis as a Mormon, you are kicked out of the church.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he did like drive his elbow into his nuts. I don't know. They call that a flagrant all the time in college basketball. Like if you hit someone in the head or you hit someone below the waist, you get kicked out. Mm-hmm. It sucks.
It was Baldo lie though.
Yeah, but yeah, the game sucked, and you really can't do the 2-for-1 thing that they fucked up at the end of the first half. That was so bonehead. Mm-hmm. And I also like when it really comes down to it this entire season, you can't lose to Penn State in the last game of the season at home. Because if you don't lose to Penn State, you probably get the 3 in Milwaukee, and you don't have to play a really good BYU team that probably should have been higher than a 6 seed. So we screwed ourselves, but yeah, I'm bummed. It sucks.
I'm not a math guy, but I get frustrated when I watch games when coaches screw up the 2-for-1.
Yeah,
at the end of a game. It happens a lot.
Well, what happened in this game, especially in the first half, was BYU plays at a breakneck pace, and we tried to match that pace, and you just can't play as fast as – there's very few teams that can play as fast as BYU plays. So if you try to do that with them, you're going to just have these boneheaded moments where you have 12 seconds left in the first half, you take a 2, and then they come down and hit a 3. So
also, Memes, I think I've become a BYU lever.
No, really good.
Because they're so fun to watch. They don't miss.
Oh, I'm rooting for them against Bama for obvious reasons.
It's going to be a great game because both those teams love to run. So I'm pumped to watch that one. But, yeah, Memes was right. Point Memes.
BYU lever. Memes, did you get all the tweets off that you wanted to get off?
Yeah, I got them all off. Okay. I was rooting for you, though.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. I don't believe it.
No, you weren't. 0% chance.
I root for all your teams to make it to the championship and lose.
Okay, that's fair. I believe that.
Did you bet on BYU?
Yeah, I took a money line.
So you
weren't rooting for me. So that's a lie. I didn't expect you to root for me.
No, I was rooting for you.
No, you weren't.
No, you weren't. You don't get credit. You said you were a BYU lever. You get credit for being right about that. You bet on BYU. You get credit for being right about that. You don't also get credit for saying I was rooting for you too.
No, but I like you, and
I like you too. Now, see, you can't have all of them. You were right about the game. You don't also be like, yeah, I was rooting for you. Man, it sucked.
It was a fun comeback though.
It was an awesome comeback. I just fucking wish they had completed it. Yeah, BYU. Whose line is it anyway? Let me look at that real quick.
I think we said it was 3.5.
No, the total.
Oh, total. 185.
No, that would be way too high.
I thought 174. I thought Memes just held up a 5.
That was a 7.
1.7. Yeah. Oh, that was a 7. Got it.
Yeah. 174. I mean, they're going to
simulating a gun.
Yeah, probably take that over.
174.5.
But then BYU, sometimes they don't make their threes. They were making all their threes. They're good, though. Saunders, I hate that guy. I really do because he's so good, and his face pisses me off. But he's really good. He's smooth. All right, last one was the worst game of the weekend, I would say. Bama St. Mary's.
Gross. Yeah, it was gross. Just neither team could make a shot. Ugly turnovers. It was bad.
St. Mary's just
They couldn't make a layup.
They're not good. I mean, they're good in their conference, and they beat Gonzaga in conference play, and then they get into the tournament, and you have to play so perfect when you play that slow, and they couldn't. Did they hit a single three
I think they hit one.
at the end?
I think they had two. They had two.
They
at
had
the end.
two. I know they broke the seal at the end, but they've had these games before where they just don't make 3-pointers. And if you're not going to make threes, you at least have to make all your layups when you get to the hoop. And they were not making layups.
Yeah, and I wasn't impressed with Bama this weekend.
No.
Robert Morris gave him a fight, and St. Mary's, if they could just hit a shot, would have been in that game. Like that, we were watching that game saying the entire time, Bama should be up by like 25 because St. Mary's was playing so bad, and they didn't pull away. I mean, they were up 10 for the majority of the game, but they should have just stomped them.
That was one of my takes. That was the worst college basketball game I think I've ever seen.
It was painful.
It was so bad, like boring and bad to watch.
It was just St. Mary's missed shot, and then a 50-50 chance Bama would hit a shot or turn the ball over. And that was it. That was the whole game.
Yeah, Alabama is 1-3 this year when they score fewer than 80 points. And St. Mary's had enough looks where they should have scored some points against them. It was not a good defensive performance from Alabama. And it was so frustrating. They were getting wide open looks. They were getting wide open layups. Just couldn't make a single one of them.
Max, are you worried at all about Bama going to the Final Four?
Yeah, I mean, it's only 2 games away, but I think it's not an easy path.
Yeah, because Max would have to road trip down to San Antonio, and I would have to go to the pump.
St. Mary's is the worst team ever. Worst team I've ever watched. And they went They went
Duke
0 for
is-
16 from 3 2 games ago. Like
Duke
that.
is
How
so
is
much
this,
better.
how is this team a fucking 7 seed? They sucked.
Duke is what?
So like infinitely better. The only chance Bama has is Caleb Love. Caleb Love.
No.
Black Magic.
Oh, Arizona
Yeah.
beats them. Yeah. Yeah, you're not even giving Bama a chance
No.
against Duke.
God,
it's
no.
someone else has to do it
Yeah.
before that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a problem if Duke got bounced, just for the Bama problem. But yeah, I don't understand how Mark Sears was so good last year, and I just feel like he's lost his touch, like around the rim, shooting threes.
yeah.
Another take. They tried too many alley-oops. Every single time down the court, they just try an alley-oop.
Yeah.
Like I get it. It's if you run it well, it's an efficient play.
Yeah.
But just play some basketball. Stop trying to do an alley-oop every single possession.
They do score a lot of points.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
They turn
that was
the
a
ball
good
over.
counterpoint. Take another point away from Matt.
All right, too many. I'm only getting points taken away.
It was a counterpoint. I mean, yes, Max, running too many alley-oops, I guess that's a fair take. But is the alternative missing layups?
True.
Alley-oop is a pretty high percentage shot.
Yeah, but they don't always convert on the alley-oop.
That's true.
Sometimes they turn the ball over trying to alley-oop it.
Yeah. Okay.
What do you think the record for most alley-oops in a game is?
Florida Gulf
Dunk
Coast.
City, yeah.
Dunk City. We should
Has
be able
to
to bet on that. That should be a line.
Has to be Dunk City. Okay. Well, one last break, and then we'll do the Midwest, and then we'll do big picture stuff and who's back.
These games are being brought to you by TaxAct. Can you believe that we're getting to the end of March and your taxes are due on April 15th? Hank, do you have any tips?
Yeah, just get ahead, stay ahead.
Love
Get
that.
help. They got it all. Expert assist.
It's not the time to mess around. Go to taxact.com, right?
Yep.
They have real tax experts who can help, 100% credentialed, 100% U.S.-based, so they know the ins and outs of the tax laws. You can get the answers that you need starting at $20. If you need a little help or a lot, they can answer all types of tax-related questions. It's crunch time, and you want to get it right. TaxAct makes it easy, so you can get them over with and be done for the season. These games are also brought to you by our great friends at 47. I'm wearing a 47 hat right now. Big Cat's got one on, right?
Always.
Hank, you've got your 47 on.
Sure do.
47 is the best. They make the best hats. They've got perfect fit. They've got tremendous high quality. They're the go-to destination for premium licensed headwear and apparel, and more than just game day headwear. I know when I'm looking at team-specific merch that I can buy, if I see the 47 on it, I know it's going to be good. 47 has new drops launching constantly for your favorite leagues and teams, known for their headwear, but check out their apparel too. The foundation line is awesome. You guys are going to love it. Options are available for your favorite league and favorite team with a variety of silhouettes to find your fit. I like this hat that I'm rocking right now. All the Just Cover merch. I think all the PMT hats that we're putting out, all 47, right?
Yep.
Exclusively. because they're great. Shop 47brand.com and use code PMT. Get 20% off your purchase. I'm telling you, they've got some great stuff on there. It's not just hats. Go to 47brand.com. Use promo code PMT. Get 20% off your purchase.
Okay, Midwest, Houston, Gonzaga. Gonzaga's 9 straight Sweet 16s, stops at 9. LJ Cryer was awesome. Houston, I mean, Gonzaga kind of...
Houston tried to give it away at the end.
Yeah,
It got
Gonzaga
real
kept
close.
it. They fought all the way to the end, but Houston was just better. And Kelvin Sampson was like, he was sucking Mark Few off after.
Mm-hmm.
He was talking about how incredible he was. There's no one else that he has that respect for.
He is in love with Gonzaga because he was correcting reporters' pronunciation of
I know.
Gonzaga earlier in the week. He was like he was a Gonzaga defender.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest with this game. I was focused on the Tennessee game. I didn't. I kept one eye on the score at the end of it, and I saw Gonzaga just fighting their way back into it in a game that Houston probably should have won by 10 to 15 points. But I'm not worried about Houston.
I'm going to say this about Houston. I want Houston fans to chime in. I feel like Houston, they're the regular Houston. They can shoot better than Houston a few years ago, and they could tell me if I'm way off. But Houston, elbow 3 is always money. That's where they hit all their threes. I don't know what it is, but I just feel like every time I watch a Houston game, it's right there. They don't hit like a ton of corner threes. They don't hit a bunch at the top of the arc. That spot, they just if one of their guys catches the ball in rhythm there, it's always going in. Mm-hmm. And you're like, holy shit, Houston can shoot.
Oh, this is an interesting stat. Alabama is one of 4 programs to make it to the Sweet 16 in 4 of the last 5 seasons. Houston, Gonzaga was on that list, no longer. Can you name the other one?
4 out of the last 5.
4 out of the last 5.
Are they? Hold on. Oregon was on that list or no?
Oregon, no. Well, I'm talking about as of right now.
As of right now, they've made 4 of the last 5 because Oregon definitely.
Baylor. No.
Nope. Baylor lost.
Is it a Power 5 school?
It is. We just
Texas
talked about
Tech.
them. It's not Texas Tech.
It's not Texas Tech. It's not BYU.
Auburn. Florida.
It's not Auburn. Arizona.
No.
BYU.
No.
Bama.
No. You're
Michigan State.
Bama is one. We already said that though.
Ole Miss.
St. Mary's.
No. St. Mary's
St.
lost.
Mary's never goes.
No.
Arkansas.
Yes.
Oh yeah, must.
That's a must stat.
Oh.
That is a must stat.
Mm-hmm.
I was right there.
That was good podcasting.
Yeah.
we were just reading the bracket. We're gonna get it. Yeah, Houston's very good.
Yeah.
It's a top heavy. This is why I'm very excited for these Sweet 16 and Elite 8 and Final Four because all these 1 seeds are so fucking good.
Yeah, and I'm not worried about Houston. The fact that they let Gonzaga back into it's tough to close out in March.
Yeah, and
You gotta
Gonzaga
fight.
was a very good team too.
Yeah,
What they did to Georgia was Georgia
unspeakable.
Yeah, literally unspeakable.
Yeah, we should not speak of Georgia.
Okay, Purdue versus McNeese. This was the classic early Saturday game, upstart, plucky underdog, and you're like, oh yeah, that's why Purdue's Purdue and McNeese is McNeese.
Yeah, the manager from McNeese. People were having a conversation about him. People got
Why
sick
did they show him?
People got sick of him, and I don't blame him. I blame just society and the internet
Yes.
and NIL because you have to blame NIL. But this is a story that I think would have been a blip that people would have loved if it was 10, 15, 20 years ago.
Yes.
The fact that it's happening right now, we hate everything. You give us 1 week of finding out things and reading news stories about one guy, we're going to start to hate that one guy.
I also have a theory about it. A side note, I didn't love that he wasn't the one who went and got the jersey fixed.
That also was a problem. It's like that is your day job.
He got a little Hollywood, wasn't going to get there was a jersey ripped early in the game for McNeese.
I don't know if you heard, I don't get jerseys no more.
Okay, I don't clean those jerseys no more. Amir Khan, Aura, going to NC State with Will Wade, which is kind of funny.
I do like that.
I like that. I think
Transfer portal.
I think he's like an assistant to the coach now, so it's not just student manager.
Well, he's getting 6 figures in NIL.
Yeah, he's getting crazy. So that's part of why people are hate on it.
Which is
they
fair.
hate on anyone who gets money. It was the worst tournament for him to have this storyline because we didn't have a Golke. We didn't have a crazy upset. Everyone complained about no upsets in the first 2 days. And then on Saturday morning, we woke up and the only storyline was a student manager. I think that's why people got very upset.
It was Sister Jean in a tournament with no other reasons to pay attention to.
Yeah, Sister Jean was attached to a team and there was chaos everywhere. And, Loyola hit a buzzer beater against Miami, all this stuff. McNeese just beat the fuck out of Clemson and then got the fuck beaten out of him by Purdue.
Now, if they had gone to the Final Four, I think it would have swung back. And we'd been like, this guy is the shit.
Yeah, because there would have been enough time where people were like, dude, why are we hating on this kid?
Yeah.
But yeah, he had the worst possible tournament setting to have, because really, he got more time on camera than any other moment.
Yeah.
I think people were just frustrated about the tournament. They're like, fuck this kid.
Was he having conversations with NC State during this run?
Probably. Good for McNeese. Purdue, by the way, Matt Painter, has he gone back to underrated?
Now that he doesn't have a just behemoth in the middle?
No, I'm just saying, so obviously the Sweet 16 loss, and then he lost, what was it, to North Texas or something a few years ago. There was that stat where he lost like a 12 seed, a 13 seed, 14, all the way up to 16. Matt Painter has been to the Sweet 16 6 out of the last 8 tournaments. He's been to a Final Four. He's been to the national championship. He had a team that a lot of, parts that he had to fit together this year still were very, very good. They're in the Sweet 16 again. He's won 5 Big Ten titles. I think Matt Painter's now underrated. That was my Say Something Nice About Purdue minute. I think he's an underrated coach because year in and year out, he just consistently has Purdue very good.
Counterpoint. They beat High Point.
Yeah.
And then
Doesn't
they
matter.
beat McNeese.
Doesn't matter. You play who you play in the tournament. Sometimes the tournament breaks your ways. Sometimes they make you play 6 out of 10 games in altitude against BYU.
I'm going to wait and see what they do against Houston, and then I will make my judgment. He's
either
going to be overrated or underrated.
I'm a big believer in enjoying the success along the trip because there's only going to be one winner anyway, and getting to a Sweet 16, getting to that second weekend is a success. Like that's a check mark in my mind when it comes to coaching and tournaments. I think Matt Painter, the consistent coach, the consistently great coaches get to the Sweet 16 like every other year or 6 out of 8 years. So I think he's underrated. Mm-hmm. And he hasn't won the big one. I get it, but it's hard to do. There's a lot of really good coaches that didn't win the big one. So yeah, might say something nice about Purdue. They will lose to Houston.
I think they will.
They will lose to Houston, but
they got a good matchup too because Clemson almost beat McNeese. I know it was close at the very, very end, but they also started the game like 0 for 40.
They scored 13 points in the first half.
Yes, bad start from Clemson.
Yeah.
I'm not willing to say he's overrated or underrated just yet. I think he's exactly
properly rated?
Properly rated until if he loses to Houston, then overrated.
Yeah. Okay. Kentucky, Illinois. This was just Illinois' season in a nutshell. They shot 28% from 3. That's it.
That's it.
You basically, Illinois should, they should just, their season essentially is like, tell me what they're going to shoot from 3. Okay, win or loss. And that's it.
And somehow, Kentucky is now a feel-good story.
Mark Pope.
Yeah.
People shit on the hire. It was not their first candidate. Mark Pope has them in the Sweet 16, something Cal hadn't done since 2019. I know it's funny that Cal's also in the Sweet 16. But yeah, they're good. Kobe Brea is awesome. Amari Williams gets every rebound. He's a stud. And now they get to go round 3 against Tennessee. Unfortunately, our college basketball expert, Mark Titus, said that, didn't he say Tennessee beat them twice?
He did say that Tennessee beat Kentucky twice.
And Kentucky
the
beat
opposite
Tennessee
happened.
twice.
Yeah.
So now, hard to beat a team 3 times?
Hard to beat a team 3 times. And I know that a lot of Tennessee fans were looking at the bracket before this whole thing started, and they're not excited about the prospect of playing against Kentucky.
No.
Not at all.
No. But Kentucky's fun. You're right, Mark Pope. Kentucky's somehow an underdog.
Yeah, somehow
in the conscience of America.
And Arkansas with Calipari also somehow an underdog.
Yeah. We got underdogs everywhere.
And BYU, where Pope came from, also an underdog.
A lot of underdogs.
A lot of guys that you can root for at these traditional underdogs.
Speaking of underdogs, all the dogs got bounced from the tournament.
Yeah, no more dogs.
Yeah.
Max is probably pumped about that.
Drake out, Gonzaga
I have a dog.
out, Mississippi State out, Georgia out.
Tennessee, secondary.
UConn out.
Oh, Tennessee. They have a dog.
Yeah, they're the Vols, though.
But yeah.
Yeah, Smokey.
secondary.
Smokey is an elite dog, too.
There's a lot of dogs in this tournament, and they're all out. Pretty sad.
Bama, kind of a dog.
How?
In what way?
Elephants are like friendly and
Elephants or dogs?
Dog-like?
Minus a point for Hank.
All right, last game. UCLA, Tennessee. It's just an ass-kicking. Lanier and Ziegler are so good together.
Lanier's been shooting lights out from the outside. I do love watching Ziegler play.
Oh, he's so good.
And I hope he's a guy that I would like to also see stick around at Tennessee for like 5 more years.
Yeah.
Great college player.
He's my rule of
Yeah.
one guy, he would be perfect.
Him, Marquise Noel at Kansas State.
Yeah.
I want to see these guys that are just like undersized elite ball handlers, great passers. They should be able to play for the school for
Stephen
forever.
Ashworth at Creighton.
Yeah.
John Tonje at Wisconsin. That would be nice. The big story, though, was Mick Cronin having a crash out after the game. Did you guys see this?
I did not see after the game, no.
Okay, so in the press conference, so Mick Cronin's been very vocal this year about time zones, travel. He's not been happy.
Mm-hmm.
So because UCLA having to go, they had a bad record in Eastern Standard Time. He just was upset about all of it. And a reporter asked this. So this is the reporter. I'll read the transcript. The reporter says, "I know it's probably way too early to start thinking about." Mick Cronin says, "Then don't ask." And then the reporter says, "At what point do you start looking forward rather than backwards?" Mick Cronin says, "Right now, guys, it's 12:40 a.m. and our season just ended. That's it. You're going to ask me about next year? Right now, my biggest concern is how bad the seats are on the Allegiant flight on that terrible plane that we're going to fly home tomorrow on." Wow. Then the reporter said the school bus, and he said the plain version of the cheese. The reporter said, "Hang in there," and Mick Cronin said, "And is there any chance that Doug got me some hot food? Because I don't eat on game day. That I got something edible? Not next year, not right now, guys."
Okay, so that last piece was actually very important. He's just hangry.
Yeah.
He just is grumpy because he hasn't had any. That's like Hank waking up on Grit Week and doesn't get to eat a good breakfast. That's how Mick Cronin was coaching that game.
I just love a reporter saying, at what point do you look forward to next year and not reminisce about this season? Like, I'm just fucking pissed off about this plane.
Yeah.
And I need some food.
it's the same thing with Dan Hiller though. Like that's how you should be after.
Yes,
When your
agreed.
season ends, like
I like it.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't want him
Lash
to
out.
I don't want him to be like, these were just such a special group, and maybe next week we'll start looking towards the future, but right now I'm just trying to save. No, he's got to get on a fucking Allegiant Air flight. Mm-hmm. He's pissed off.
Is he really flying Allegiant?
It must be.
That's tough. Times are tough.
Yeah. Okay. Any other notes? Oh,
Kentucky, Tennessee, 7:40 on Friday.
love it.
That game is going to be awesome.
That game's gonna be
I'm very
awesome.
excited about that. I feel like that's the highest rated game of the weekend.
Yeah. All right. I had a couple other just random notes from the entire tournament. Did you guys see Liberty's head coach's hair?
Yes, I did.
That was awesome.
It was
that guy thought he was fooling everyone. That
Painted
guy
on.
probably was a little pissed that he made it to the tournament
Yeah, well, no,
because he was like, "Shit."
no, I think he went out and he got that for the tournament.
You think he got it for the tournament?
This is my national television hair.
Richie McKay, he just has spray painted the male pattern baldness away.
I think it looks great.
Yeah, but he was flying under the radar, and then he gets into the tournament. Everyone's like, "What is this hair, dude? What are you trying to do?"
There was that old commercial from the 80s where it was for the hairspray, and it would be like, look, this spray covers up all the baldness, and then guys would spray, their hair would magically grow.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like in real life.
So we talked about TJ Otzelberger, we talked about Matt Painter, we talked about Izzo. The guy who we should be talking about is Shaka Smart. So he got bounced on Friday. In his last 9 NCAA tournament trips, Shaka Smart has been eliminated by a team at least 3 seed lines worse 7 times and at least 5 seeds worse 5 times. Bad.
But
He basically had the VCU run. He had 5-1 VCU, and then he just lost everything since.
But he also has a 26-page binder of their culture.
True, which we got to get our hands on.
Also, Shaka Smart, he had everybody thinking that he was bald like the Liberty coach when he shaved his head.
True.
Which was stolen valor, and then he decides he's going to grow his hair out. He's able to have a full head of hair. That's bad vibes.
Same with Buzz Williams, our guy.
Yeah. Although
Fake bald guy.
I think Buzz did that just because of efficiency. He's like, that's one less thing. That every time I wash my hair, I could be watching tape.
Yeah. But yeah, Shaka Smart, that was not good. It was kind of stowed away because it was a Friday night loss. But yeah, the tournament has not been kind to Shaka Smart. Still a good coach, but not a good tournament coach right now. But he had the VCU run. And then we had the stats to back up that this has not been the best tournament. Just 4 games in the men's round of 64 this year, finished within 5 points or went to OT, the lowest amount in 17 years. This also was the first time in 17 years that no 1, 2, 3, or 4 was upset in the opening round. So there's stats to back it up. But shout out to Robert Morris and Bryant for trying. Those were the 2 closest. Bryant ended up losing by like 30.
I'd forgotten about Bryant because it was such a blowout by the end.
Yeah, and Robert Morris, there was that one. I think they were up 1 with the ball, and they took a 3. And if they had hit that 3, we could have had magic. It was that was the closest we felt to March Madness, and we just couldn't fully capture it. But Roback question: RHOBACK.com. Promo code TAKE, 20% off your first purchase. Q-zips, polos, hoodies, joggers, shorts. Roback.com. I'll throw it out to everyone. Who do we got winning all now that we're at the Sweet 16? Re-bracket.
Duke.
There's got to be so many perfect brackets. You guys might have to cut up your...
There are none.
I'm in
the Stella Blue pool.
730th out of 750 in the Stella Blue bracket,
Nice.
but no perfect brackets.
Okay,
Yep.
that's good.
I think there are 2 maybe on ESPN.
There was going into today or yesterday, but St. John's, the one I saw, St. John's blew that.
Shout out the guy who I saw at the DraftKings Sportsbook in the bathroom who's like, Big Cat, how many perfect brackets do you think are left? This was on Thursday, like maybe at 9 p.m. And I was like, I don't know, dude. He's like, 10 million. And I was like, okay. He's like, what if I told you I had one of them? I was like, I'm not impressed.
That's pretty cool.
1 of 10 million.
Yeah, that's not impressive. It's Thursday, and there's been no upsets.
To me, when I look at them, every bracket's perfect.
I don't know. I think it's just going to be Duke.
Duke.
I think Duke's going to win it all.
Duke, Michigan State, Duke.
That would be a fun matchup. Yeah. If it's Duke, Michigan State, they should let Coach K coach that.
Just, throwback.
Yeah, the old guys.
He'll be there, right?
Oh, for sure. Max,
Miss K?
who you got winning it all?
I picked Tennessee before, so I'll stick with Tennessee.
Okay. I think it's gonna be
I respect that.
I feel like that's the team
Like,
that
you
has
don't-
the best shot that no one's talking about.
Duke. I'd agree with that.
That's why I picked them.
Well, they'd have to get through Kentucky, possibly Houston, and then possibly Duke.
Yeah, no, it's tough draw, but
Got to be good teams
gotta
to win
be
the
good
tournament.
teams.
Gotta be good teams to win the tournament. That's a fact. All right. Any other thoughts from the tournament? We'll do who's back. If not, it's been fun. I just don't want to wake up tomorrow morning. It's gonna suck not having basketball.
It's been a great 4 days.
It is
been-
tomorrow morning.
It's been a very fun 4 days. Very fun 4 days. I know it's not been the best tournament, but I still love it. Because someday you're going to be dead and there'll be no tournament. Think about that. How much will that suck?
Pretty bad.
All right. Who's back of the week? Truly Unruly is the first high ABV hard seltzer that actually tastes good. Truly Unruly is a hard seltzer that breaks all the rules, drinks light, parties hard. With 8% ABV, it hits hard but still tastes amazing. It's the official hard seltzer of Pardon My Take. Find Truly Unruly at a store near you or visit trulyhardseltzer.com. Truly Unruly, a hard seltzer that breaks all the rules. I love the Strawberry Smash. With 8% ABV, it hits hard but still tastes amazing. Official hard seltzer of Pardon My Take. Thank you to Truly Unruly. We're going to get unruly this summer. It's about to get warm. Truly Unruly. Oh, yeah, that was crazy that it snowed on Thursday.
Yeah.
But it did. I didn't. If there was one day where it could snow and it wouldn't bother me, it's the first day of the NCAA.
I preferred it, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Get all the shit out.
You don't feel bad staying inside when
No.
it's snowing.
Yeah. Okay, Hank, who's back of the week?
I have a few. One of them is literally right up PFT's alley, so I'll save it for him. And if he doesn't say it, we can come back to him.
I appreciate that, Hank. I think I know what it is.
So my other one is Wyatt Hendrickson. Oklahoma State wrestler.
Yes.
This was probably the most madness I felt until Sunday night. This was Saturday night. NCAA wrestling. He was down a point to, what's his name, Gable Stevenson?
Yeah, that's the real who's back is Gable Stevenson.
Olympian, WWE wrestler, never lost in college.
Tried out for the
somehow
NFL.
left college, signed with the WWE, won the Olympics, came back.
Yeah, if you have 2 jobs after you leave college, I don't know how you go back. One, okay, I'll look past that, but he tried out for the NFL, and he signed with WWE, and then I saw it on TV, and I was like, are they replaying 2 years ago's wrestling tournament?
So he was winning with what was it, a minute and a half left, and Wyatt Hendrickson put him on his back, got 2 points. Don't know how wrestling scoring works, but one of the coolest scenes to watch live. We were watching it live in the cave, and it was just an electric moment. All-time upset. Again, wrestling people will tell you it's like the biggest upset of all time.
KB said that it was one of the most shocking wrestling moments.
KB
I also cannot
he
wait
went,
to see KB.
KB went to this.
Talk about this because
he left early. He goes to the NCAA Wrestling National Championships. Gabe Stevenson is wrestling. It's an iconic moment, maybe the best collegiate wrestler of all time. And then he leaves, and in his Uber ride home, he finds out that he got upset at the last second.
That's as bad as
Brutal.
it gets.
Yeah, he said
KB is a bad sports town.
it was bad. I texted him being like, how crazy is this? And he's like, I'm in an Uber. I want to kill myself.
Oh,
Yeah, not good.
brutal.
Not good. But I want to talk to him about it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how'd this happen? It was crazy. It was very cool. All right. What other who's back?
My other one is Love. We kind of talked about it at the top of the show. I don't know if you're going to use that one.
Tiger,
Yeah.
We can't talk about it.
he asked us to respect his privacy in his Twitter post.
Yeah.
And Instagram.
And Instagram, yeah, you got to go multi-platform.
Sorry, so I'll just read his caption.
You have to
and
tell
we
as
can-
many
we can
people as
respect-
possible
we'll respect his
to
post
keep this
from here
quiet.
on out.
Yeah.
Love is in the air and life is better with you by my side. This is a picture of him and Don Jr.'s ex-wife.
Yes.
Who still has the last name Trump for some reason.
Yeah. What's up with that?
Couldn't tell you.
Paperwork not signed.
Do they have
Ex-wife.
kids?
That might have been like a name for life type deal. Oh, if you have kids, I believe she does have kids.
Like if you're a woman and you're getting divorced,
I think it might be
the
the
first
kid-
thing that's got to go
Yeah.
is the last name.
Yeah.
but this
Maybe
is
throw a hyphen in there.
this.
No, I don't even think you throw a hyphen. I think you just got to ditch it.
I agree, but like if you're gonna say it's for the kids, be like I'm Smith Trump.
Yeah.
Woods Trump would be a powerful name though.
Yeah.
Now, if
Anyway, I'll finish it. Sorry. We look forward to our journey through life together. At this time, we would appreciate privacy for all those close to our hearts.
so, we're not going to talk about it.
So
publicly
wait,
post it.
Tiger Woods is dating someone related to the Trumps,
No.
but we're not. Well, I mean, related in the fact that she birthed Trumps.
Oh, true.
Yeah,
But we're not going to talk about it.
we're not because you asked us not to.
Tiger
But-
Woods and Trump.
Yes.
Don't talk about it.
but we don't know that they're dating. It just said that they're in love.
Oh, they could be not dating.
Maybe they just met. And
Love's
they're
in
like,
the air.
we're in love. Love is in the air. Now, this could be good for Tiger because if she's got Trump grandchildren, anytime Tiger is with those kids, he gets somebody to drive him around, right?
True.
Like a professional driver. So Tiger doesn't have to worry about
Yeah.
running afoul of the law.
Yeah. That's a good point. Very good point.
How do you think Charlie feels about this? That's
I
the
hope
real question.
Charlie, if you want to talk, your uncles are here. Not in a creepy way. But we're here for you, bro.
Want to just rap about anything?
I think he's happy his dad's happy.
Yeah.
And he found love.
Yeah.
And you know what? Charlie's probably not even talking about it either. He's probably respecting their privacy.
He's focused on grinding out on the golf course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, very weird. Very weird to ask for privacy. Like, for a second, I thought someone died or something.
Well, it's been rumored, and like I think it's been probably talked about tabloids, gossip sites. So they probably were thinking let's address it, but then keep it private. But that is just not how it works. Once you post about it, it's
Wait.
out there.
one of the kids is Kai Trump. Isn't she? She's like a good golfer.
Yeah.
Wow. And Tiger Woods could be her stepdad? That's pretty.
He's the dad who stepped up.
Yeah. Charlie and Kai got to play a 1v1.
So, Yeah, we're not going to talk about it.
No, we
because
haven't talked about it at all.
and we won't. We'll continue to respect his wishes for privacy. But the two pictures that he put accompanying the post, the first one was pretty normal, I would say. They're just like standing next to each other. They look happy. I'm happy. And then the second one was in a hammock. And it looked like that picture of Willie Mays that Barry Bonds took. Remember where everyone was like, oh, shit, is this Willie Mays' funeral? Is he dead?
Yeah.
That's what that looked like for Tiger.
Yeah.
It looked like he was dead in a hammock laying next to her. And then you're like, who took that picture?
Yeah. That was weird.
Maybe Charlie.
Maybe Charlie or Kai.
Okay.
They go to the same school.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh, so they met in the pickup line.
they must have.
That's exactly what happened.
They both go. Charlie Woods and Kai Trump both go to the Benjamin School.
Are they the same age?
Look up, where's the Benjamin School? In Florida? How bad did they get beat by Cooper Flag in Mount Verde? Probably got smoked. Oh, they probably got
Palm Beach,
fucking
Florida.
killed by him.
What if Charlie and the Trump granddaughter, what if love was in the air with them? Are they the same age?
I think they're both underage.
But what if you can date somebody?
Yeah, of course. What are you trying to say?
I'm just saying, that'd be wild.
That would be wild. That would be very wild.
Yeah, she's 17, he's 16.
That would be very wild. But yeah, we're going to respect the privacy. By the way, I have a hammock take. They suck. Most overrated thing in the world.
That's insane.
No, yeah.
It's also it's
no,
a big
he's
guy.
thinking about
It's a
getting
big guy.
out of hammocks. Getting out of hammocks sucks.
It's a big guy thing. I understand.
No, I hate
that.
them too.
Yeah, Max, I knew you'd back me up.
Me and Hank are just
They're just
kicking
scary as
balls.
fuck.
A summer
They're
nap on a
uncomfortable.
hammock.
No, yeah, you're not taking naps in a hammock.
Oh, I've
Oh
taken
my
a nap in a
God,
hammock.
I've taken so
Have
many
you-
naps.
You ever
in so
sipped an
many
iced tea in a hammock?
Especially
It's
if you
pretty
have your shirt off, then like the
They get the
yeah.
They're so overrated. Like hammocks are put on a pedestal as like the king of relaxation. No,
Hank's
give
right.
me a day bed.
Point Hank. A
Again,
day
I
bed.
know it's a big guy take. Hammocks, I don't trust them. What do you want me to say?
Get
I
some
get in a
core
hammock
strength,
and
dude.
it's a problem.
Day beds it's like, hey, we're gonna put a bed in this room and it's gonna be smaller and you're not
It's
gonna
just
fit
like-
on
No,
it.
no,
It's
no,
not
I'm
gonna
saying-
be
I'm
not gonna be
saying-
as comfortable
No,
as
I'm
the
saying
real bed.
I'm
Slap an
saying-
air mattress on the
Exactly.
turf.
No, you
Day
fucking
beds
idiots.
suck
I'm
ass.
talking about the
Should be
ones
nice.
outside. Like real furniture outside is awesome. That's better than a hammock.
Hammocks are different.
Way better.
Way
different.
better.
Way better.
Bad take.
You just have never been on nice furniture outside.
I've been on nice furniture outside. Hammocks are getting
Nice
out of the
furniture
hammock.
shouldn't be
That's so
outside.
great.
Getting into-
There's outdoor furniture, you idiot.
Yeah, but it's cheap because it's outside.
no, it's not. I said nice. You have not confirmed you have not been on nice furniture outside.
because nice furniture should not be outside.
But there is nice.
There
outdoor
is nice
furniture.
outdoor furniture, and it's better than hammocks.
No, it's not.
Yes.
Getting
Yes.
getting into
Yes.
the hammock is tough sometimes. Getting out of the hammock sucks.
What do you want, like a sleep number fucking mattress on the porch?
Yeah, I just need gravity.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well,
just
how,
need
how is that a
gravity.
diss?
What happens when it rains?
Then trying to fucking get myself into some little cocoon of rope. Yeah, I would like a bed.
Have you slept on a king? Max, I own that outdoor couch.
Yeah, it's
I
comfortable.
own that. I also own a hammock, and I'm on the hammock to nap, not on that couch.
Which one do you go on more?
The hammock. I sit on the couch to if I'm watching TV. I go on the hammock
I'm
to
gonna
lay
come
down.
over just to go on the hammock.
Yeah, you want to have a hammock day? I got two
Yeah.
of them.
Oh fuck yeah!
Dueling hammocks.
Do it. Max and I will be sitting like God intended on furniture.
Yeah,
was
watching
way
too
sports and being
expensive.
really
Yeah.
relaxed.
That was a
Yeah,
big misstep
super.
by Max though, bringing up the couch I own as
How about
a
this one?
counterexample.
That's a nice.
How about this
couch.
one?
Yeah,
You got this one?
I don't own that
Fuck
one.
this
yes.
one?
That
Yeah,
that
that's the one I
sofa
want.
looks
Yeah,
pretty
what
good.
happens when it rains?
It's outdoor,
outdoor
furniture.
furniture.
Again,
It's
you don't understand outdoor furniture, you moron.
That looks like a whatever.
You don't. You just say you don't. Like, listen.
Well,
I
no.
knew that when I did the hammock take, it was going to probably be me and Max versus the world because big guys can't trust hammocks. But what we found out with the hammock take is you don't know what outdoor furniture is.
If you're
So
going
just
to
admit
spend
that.
a lot of money on nice
Admit that.
furniture, you should not put it outside. That's my take.
No, that's so
I
wrong.
understand super rich people like you just spend a lot of money on everything. But
You
it's like,
had-
it doesn't make sense to put it outside.
What are you talking? There's outdoor furniture.
But not like you shouldn't. You shouldn't break the bank on outdoor.
You don't want to
furniture.
sit outside?
I do, but it doesn't need to be like anything.
This is a
insane.
crazy. Listen,
This is crazy.
This is crazy.
crazy.
Here's what
This
you're not,
is crazy.
Here's what you guys aren't thinking about with the outdoor furniture. You have to pick all those pillows up and take them inside and store them in like a waterproof thing if it's bad weather. A hammock, you just leave the hammock out there.
Okay, I still would rather sit on the really comfortable outdoor furniture.
Sit.
Hank
yes.
does not
lay
know.
down. Hammock.
Hank does not know what outdoor
PFT's
furniture
point
is.
the maintenance is not worth the comfort.
Maintenance. Fucking
There's
pick
a lot
up
of
a
maintenance.
couple pillows.
No, I gotta stack them sometimes. The maintenance is really where they get you.
Hank, I don't want you ever sitting on outdoor furniture ever.
Yeah, I mean,
Ever.
See, Hank, he's moving the goalposts.
I won't.
right
No,
now.
I won't sit on a hammock again in my life.
He's talking about sitting. We're talking about laying down.
I won't lay down on a hammock again in my life.
You can
I don't
sit-
want you touching outdoor furniture.
I will touch out.
You don't
furniture.
respect it. You
It'll
don't.
just
You
be-
think it's stupid.
No, I love. What do you mean? It's
Oh,
necessary.
that's such bullshit. You just said it was stupid.
No, I think it's stupid to spend a lot of money on it.
What? Okay.
You spend money on dumb shit all the time.
Obviously, not outdoor furniture.
You just gotta.
You also one day you
I'll
are
back it.
going to
yeah,
buy
you
nice
will.
outdoor
You
furniture.
will, and I'm gonna laugh in your face when you do it because you absolutely will.
Hank's got some garbage outdoor furniture.
Yeah, and when he does, and
Yeah.
when you do
'Cause
spend,
it's fucking outdoors.
yeah, you will.
But
you will be forced to do it, and I'm gonna laugh at you.
Wouldn't it like if you like to sit outside?
Yeah,
Wouldn't you want it to be nice?
and comfortable.
If you had the choice of nice outdoor furniture
Like, do you think? Yeah,
or not nice outdoor furniture, you would prefer to sit on nice
Yeah,
outdoor
you guys
furniture.
are twisting the argument. Whatever.
No, we're not.
No, we've separated the original argument. Hank is correct. Hammocks are a great place to lay down.
I'll concede that's a big guy take that I knew that when I said it, it was gonna be me and Max versus the world. Hank then revealed himself to just hate outdoor furniture.
Okay,
You did.
I did not.
You said, "What's the point of buying outdoor furniture? What's the point of not buying nice outdoor furniture?
Ding.
Because it's nice to be able to sit on nice shit,
Okay.
and it's meant to be outdoors." I think you think that outdoor furniture is you just buy a couch that's like an indoor couch, you put it outside, and then it rains once, you're like ruined.
I've done that.
No,
Yeah.
this is insane.
Now it's
What is your point?
What the truly elite thing to do is to just on a nice day take your indoor television and then pick it up and walk it outside and put it down. And be like, I'm going to watch sports outside today.
Yeah, I like that.
Look at this thing. I mean,
That's incredible.
are you kidding me? You'd rather just be on
Oh.
a hammock than this thing?
Yeah, you've also definitely been on vacation and been on like super nice outdoor furniture and had a great time at a
Probably.
pool or a beach.
I don't. I feel like I'm. Just, it's like outdoor furniture is just like it's.
Have
fine.
you ever been in a cabana in a beach? Like, there's
Yeah.
nice furniture.
But that's like on a vacation at a nice place. Most people, if they're going to have something outside, a hammock is way more accessible than that thing. Probably costs like $30,000.
I think there's a lot of the like nice. No, that one's not that expensive. That one's stupid. All right. Do you have any other Who's Backs?
No.
Okay. PFT.
Do the one that you thought I was going to do.
Dele.
Yeah, that was the one.
What is it?
Deli's
Oh,
back.
yeah.
So
I saw that.
he played in the NBL. He was named the Finals MVP, which is great. Good for Delhi, despite the fact that his team Melbourne United lost the game and the title to the Illawarra Hawks. So Delhi at the podium, he got the trophy for MVP, which by the way is a very funny thing to do, to give the MVP to somebody on the losing team.
Yeah.
That like never happens anymore. But he said that the guard for the Hawks, Will Davo Hickey, was more deserving of the award. So Delhi walked off the stage with the MVP trophy and gave it to Hickey.
That's awesome.
That's so Delhi. That's
So Delhi.
I love that.
Yeah. Davo.
I also love the fact that Delhi is still playing at a high enough level to be the Finals MVP.
Yeah.
Melbourne.
Yeah. Pretty damn cool.
You
Is
take
that-
it, Davo.
Is that that's not the New Zealand.
Breakers. Same league.
Oh,
Same
same
league.
league.
Yeah.
NBL.
We didn't make it.
No. I don't know. Clearly not. Didn't make the championship.
We're a football basketball team.
We had that
We're
one.
close.
We had that one draft pick that was horrible.
Oh,
Dante
yeah.
Exum?
No.
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 RJ
Hampton.
Hampton.
Yeah.
RJ Hampton. Is he still in the league?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe.
He might be. Yeah, that was supposed to be big time.
My other
He's
who's
averaging 1.2 points a game.
Oh, for who?
The Heat. Last year.
Last year.
Oh, he might be on the Wizards now.
No way.
It looked like he had
G League.
the G League Wizards.
Go-Go's.
The Go-Go's.
Yeah.
Wizards.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, you also had what?
My other who's back of the week is Jim Morrison. Maybe.
Oh.
He might be alive.
Oh, shit.
So apparently there's a documentary, I think it's on Apple TV, Apple TV, that claims that he's still alive. It was done by a super fan of The Doors and of Jim Morrison. He says that he did not die in Paris in 1971. They said that he faked his own death, and there was never an autopsy done to determine the cause. And then he says, I think he lives somewhere in the Midwest right now, and this dude is like trying to track him down and find this guy. So Jim Morrison, the Liver King, might still be alive, which would be the ultimate who's back.
Holy shit.
Faking deaths, I've always wondered how many people fake their deaths and get away with it. It's got to be more than you think, right?
There was that one dude a few months ago, I think he was from Wisconsin, who faked his death and then just moved to like Lithuania and got a new wife. And
H-Man.
Then they zoomed him and he was like, yeah, I'm here.
Steve Jobs.
That McAfee guy, Epstein.
Yeah. Tupac.
What's his name? D.B. Cooper.
Tupac, good one, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't really fake his own death. They just never found him.
Yeah. All right, my who's back is the national anthem. Did you guys see this? The Bongo national anthem. Very funny. There was in the I think it was Ducks versus Predators, and the Ducks started slow, and they asked afterwards what happened in the game, and the Ducks player was like, "Yeah, the national anthem kind of fucked us up, but then we found our footing." And I was like, "There's no way." And then I watched the clip. Max, I DM'd it to you. It was a hell of a national anthem.
They played on the bongos?
Kind of.
I've been saying for years that they need to do national anthem on the drums.
Watch this. Kind of. I thought it was going to be just bongos. And it totally makes sense.
Threw us off a little bit in the first.
Max, there was a time, I think it was Chad Smith from the Chili Peppers. I think he played the national anthem on the drums before a Lakers game.
Oh, yeah, he did.
It's wild. Look that up.
He did. Memes. On Wednesday, can you explain to us Ashton Hall?
Oh, I could.
Sure, he's the best.
Okay. We'll maybe do a explain that memes on Wednesday, because I would like to know. Also,
Bring some body armor.
Friday, you guys want to talk Severance?
Yeah, I think that should be a recurring thing.
Yeah, even when there's no season,
Yeah.
we just talk about it. But yeah, I think
Every Friday for the next 3 years.
so. Go catch up on Severance, and we'll do our finale recap. Okay, good show, boys. We made it. March Madness. Numbers.
3.
16.
1.
6.
99 pug.
44.
15.
21.
What if today's the day?
It's not.
It's not going to be today.
No, it feels like half.
76.
Didn't get it.
I tried.
Love you guys.